Let's go.
Same cues. Different cues. Different cues. Cue drops and logical news. It's okay to have a different view. This is the place for questions and truth. You're gonna love our conservative views. Same cues, different views. Hex 7, he likes to follow Q. The latest drops he'll provide to you. 17, Parabellum, he likes to watch conservative news. Newsmax, he'll break down the facts and bring them straight to you. Big country, he's a wild card. Check the scanner, he cleans his weapons and tries big rigs in your yard. Anunnaki, hey, thank you. Like and subscribe, hey, different views. Thank you, don't forget to follow. Different views, hey, different views. Hey. The show will now begin in 3, 2, 1. Join the revolt. Different girls. Hey, 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 hey. Join the revolt.
Nope. You missed it.
Sorry about that. Yeah, let's see.
I've had nothing but bad luck
Oh, I love
since
this.
the day I saw the cat at my door. So I came into you, sweet lady.
Just gonna follow him to the Epstein files. Thought it'd be something good to kind of start us out with.
Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes, and I knew it was a spell she cast. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil.
You know, he basically ordered his attorney general to reopen an investigation into me. He ordered his 2 secretaries of state to reinvestigate me. They investigated the Clinton Foundation. You know, I'm the most investigated innocent person you have ever met in your entire
Come
life.
on.
And
Give me the ring on your finger. Let me see the lines on your hand. I can see me a tall, dark stranger giving you what you hadn't planned. I drank the potion she offered me. I found
If I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it. There's a lot that can be prosecuted, I have no doubt, on that laptop. In fact, I heard that the New York police officers who saw some of it, even though they're hardened investigators, literally had to go throw up. It's bad.
If you're out on a moonlit night, be careful of the neighborhood strays.
There's the Christmas ornament.
Long black hair, trying to win you with
There it is. That's a little
Yeah.
surprise there at the end for you, Hex.
I love it, love it, love it. Welcome to Same Cues, Different Views. This is our final episode for this year. We're going to knock it off for a little while, take a break from the show. But if something breaks, we probably will. pop on live from time to time if something like major breaks, but we're going to take a break and we will probably come back around close to spring of the year, sometime around that with the show again. If you've been following us and like the show, stick in there. We will be back. And if you're watching right now live, whatever you're watching on, whether it be Facebook, Rumble, X, Instagram, give us a like, give us a comment. There's live chat, jump in chat. Give us a follow too on our social media platforms if you want to throw those up there, Parabellum. But we have two social media platforms that we post content to regularly and try to keep it updated with the latest news. Sometimes we get a little behind because we work full-time jobs, but we are on Facebook, which is the one that's up there on the left side of your screen in red. You can click, I'll tell you how to do that in a second, but the other side, the white one, is our X account, and you can screenshot this if you're on a mobile device. And then you can hold down on either one of those QR codes and it'll take you directly to either our Facebook or our X account. And you can give us a follow on either one of those. But yeah, go down there and hit that thumbs up, guys. Give us a thumbs up. We love getting them thumbs up. Or if you don't like the show, give us a thumbs down too, because,
Yeah.
we're fine with it. We prefer the thumbs up, but thumbs down, we're fine with that too.
Is what it is, right?
But yeah, that intro you had there for us, Parabellum, lined up, that was awesome. And I don't know about you guys, but I seen a devil with a blue dress on there toward the end of it.
Absolutely.
The painting.
You better believe it. The devil in a blue dress. You got a lot of stuff coming up with that, man. But I think something you're wanting to kind of follow into as far as where we're going tonight is what you're trying to do with this show before our Christmas break going down is the sum of all fears. Is that what we're
that's the theme for tonight, is sum of all fears. And I mean that maybe not like Q minute, but I mean it like this is what we've seen exposed this year, and what's been coming out here recently and what's getting ready to come out is not the sum of our fears. It's the sum of all the deep state's fears that all this shit's getting released. It's all going to come out.
It's coming to a head.
And I don't know, maybe that's what Q meant by that. I have no idea, but that's my take on it. And that's what I kind of wanted to spend tonight's show around, is like showing you guys a lot of stuff that's happened throughout this year that's been exposed and stuff that's coming out here recently.
Yep. And I was going to give a quick shout out to Miss Debbie Bentley. If you're watching us, we see you down there at Taco Bell today with my daughter. And glad to have you watching tonight. And I told the fellas we're going to try and watch those curse words as long as you're on.
Yep. Parabellum warned us. Parabellum warned us. And salute to you, Patriot. Thanks for watching the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't know if you follow Q or not, but
I think she might follow a little bit of it.
Anyway, what are we going to dive into first here, Parabellum? What did you have something at the top that you wanted to pop in there?
Well, there was quite a few things we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Were you talking about the Rob Finnerty? No, hold on. Let's see. We can start it off with the big, beautiful economic boom. What's going on? And what
are we going to get into some financial stuff here?
Well, we can wait on that if you guys want to.
Wouldn't that fall under financial?
It would. It's a little bit. It's kind of, we'll get into it maybe a little bit later in the show, but it's going to tell what we're going to be expecting in January 2026. But if you've got something that you want to go for, that'll be coming a little later in the show.
Well, we were going to do a little bit of financial stuff there. I know we were talking pre-show about a couple things we were going to touch on there real quick. So
okay, well, we can do it real quick.
On that quarter point drop from Jerome Powell.
Absolutely. That's part of the financial. Let's get into that. So they did. They got in. Financial news. Hey, here we go, man. So what it was we were talking about, something the big country you was bringing up. So there was another quarter point decrease. Was that the second one this year? Second quarter point decrease?
Well, I thought it was the third.
I'm not
It's
sure.
the third. I'm sorry. It's the third.
Yeah.
This was kind of going to be Powell's going away present because this is it for him.
Oh, yeah. Now, what I can't wait is, what do you guys think? Who's going to replace Jerome Powell, and what's going to happen whenever the Trump appointee gets in there?
I don't really have any prospects, dude. What have y'all heard?
I've not heard anything. I've not got like I'm you. I've got no prospects on.
There's been a few names that have been dropped, but nothing definitive.
I've seen names thrown around, but I've not really paid attention because a lot of these people I didn't really know too much about, so I didn't really pay that much attention to. But
Absolutely. So what I was thinking, I do have a video to play for you guys. This is going on with the economic boost plan of the Trump administration. This is what's going to be happening in January 2026 from the big, beautiful bill. In case we forgot, or maybe we're like, hey, we're Americans. We can't wait
Hey.
too long before we forget. Go ahead.
But before we jump into this, again, this is Sum of All Fears, the theme of this show, and that doesn't just include the stuff that's come out on the deep state. It includes the good stuff that's happened with, like we're getting ready to talk about here with what Parabellum's got, the financial, and then the interest rates, and then hell, look at gas prices now, like
Dropped down to national average for the first time in 4 or 5 years, down to $2. Guess what? The second time under the Trump
I
administration.
paid $2.44 a gallon this morning when I filled up.
Buddy, I go to Gas and Go, okay? And on Wednesdays, I get 30 cents off. Come on.
But yeah, like,
I ain't paying much at all.
you are watching the dismantling of this corrupt system, and you're watching it slowly crumble. So go ahead, Parabellum.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump into this. Again, this goes with the big, beautiful bill and a few of the things they're going to drop. This came out of, I believe it's Fox News. Quick little report just to jump into that and check this out. This is what's come with the no tax on tips, Social Security things that maybe we might have put on the back burner since all this stuff got hot.
On tips and overtime, there's a max reduction for tips is $25,000. So imagine if you are somebody who uses tips as part of your salary or to make your living, that will have an impact. The senior deduction, you have to be 65 years old. It phases out at $75,000. But again, for people who are saying gas prices, which are lower, but that food prices are higher, that it's hard for them, that might help as well. There's a no tax on car loan interest. Now, that can be helpful, but what might be even more helpful is what they announced last week, which is they're doing away with some of the EPA rules on these car and fuel mileage. That actually will bring the cost of cars down probably even more. And then a child tax credit expansion. That's very bipartisan. A lot of people like this. A lot of people love to see good economic news, but I would say Josh Holmes, our next guest here, Josh, you know communications very well. To me, economic communications is one of the hardest things. If the economy is great, everyone feels it. If it doesn't feel so great, it's hard to convince people that it's going so well. One question for you. How important is it to find the right ratio for President Trump to say, look what I inherited from President Biden, but also to look ahead at what's to come?
So there you go. There's a few things. That was a few key points I thought were great for the economy. There's your child tax credits. Okay, they're going to go up 10%. You're going to go from $2,000 for your EIC or your child tax credit to $2,200. That's going to happen. They were talking about the automobile deal. I don't know if we got to cover it in the show, but President Trump had huge automobile deals. I think they went down with Toyota and stuff here recently. Manufacturing of tiny cars and things like that. That they were speaking about, right? And they're talking about, again, removing a lot of restrictions as far as it goes within those businesses to be able to make it easy for Americans to get lower price vehicles. And on top of that, for me personally, that's what I was raised. Okay, I was raised in a religious, conservative family, and they always told me, if you want restrictions removed and taxes lowered and wages to go up, son, you vote Republican. And that's what I was told from day one. And, I'm glad to see an administration for the first time in a long time that's came back to be true for me.
I'd seen Carolyn, what was it? Carolyn Levitt come out the other day, was talking
Caroline
about
Levitt,
that. Yeah. And she was like, it was going to be a quarter increase in tax returns this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you were saying,
talking about $25,000 tax deductible on no tax on tips. So people get confused with that, right? And we've said it on the show before. It's not necessarily no tax on tips. It's a deductible.
And if I'm not mistaken, she said it was the biggest in decades.
Oh my gosh, it's huge. It's going to be insane what's coming in January 26th.
I may actually get a tax return this year instead of having to pay in again.
Absolutely. Well, property taxes are killing people, but you look at the senior discount. Okay. That's going to go through. So people that own homes, guess what? You're going to get more deductions this year. Let's see what happens.
What you got there, big
Still
country?
floating around this idea about the $2,000 credit back to American families too. It was single if you were below $75,000 per year on income, and joint families $150,000. You would get a $2,000 rebate, I guess is what you'd call it.
Absolutely, they're still floating that. I'm not sure though.
That's as early as this month.
Is that with the what was it? The Trump was talking about the tariff deferment that he was going to pay out to Americans.
Maybe that was it.
That's what I'm wondering. Is that like
That's it.
tied with that? That is?
Yeah,
okay, I didn't know.
he had done so well on tariffs
now,
that's
I-
where the money was going to be coming
Okay,
from.
okay, so with that, I've seen a lot of Facebook posts going through my feed daily, looking at it, and a lot of negative stuff from. I'm guessing it's shills and black pillars and doomers and that kind of shit. But they're like, where's where's your money at now? Trump promised you $2,000, and why haven't you got it yet? You're not going to get that money. Blah 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 blah. Well, me personally, I don't think we are going to get that money until sometime around next year, close to the midterms. I mean, like, what better time? Like, you get the gas prices down, you get the interest rates down, you get bigger tax returns, and then you release that shit prior to the midterms. I mean, hell, that's
Absolutely. Well, that's what we're kind of talking about with this economic boost of it starting in 2026. And I'm glad you said that, because you could just check it out on Grok AI or Chat GPT and see what's up with this tariff dividend that's going on. And the timeline, this is what it says: discussion points to implementation possibly starting in 2026. So get ready for a new year, guys. We've had 1 year of work from the Trump administration. A lot of things to look forward to for the middle class and the lower income class. It's nothing but greatness, I think, is going to come out of this administration starting year 2. And by the start of year 3, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
the golden age. But ignore these posts you see on Facebook talking about that tariff deferment payment of $2,000 that kind of are negative toward it. Just hang in there.
Liberal playbook.
Here's the thing: promises made, promises kept. We voted for this shit. He's doing exactly everything.
Language there, Mr. Hex. That's for you, Debbie.
Sorry, it slipped. My apologies, Debbie.
On a 7-second delay, man.
That's what it is. I couldn't censor it. Beep.
I can't help. Look, like Parabell or like Big Country said. Was it Big Country said it before the show? It's not that we're cussing because we're just want to be cussing. We're passionate about what. We're passionate about what we do.
There you go. Well,
sometimes you got to get the F and point across.
That's right. How about that, though, man? That's pretty good as far as the financial stuff that's going on. There was a lot of things that happened, I was trying to think if there's anything. There was so much more stuff. I just didn't really put together a financial sector, but that's a lot of the big things that are going on, man. And just to give people an outlook over the new year, and then after you spend so much money on Christmas. And you can kind of get down during the Christmas season because, some people have 17 grandkids. And it may break them. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, buddy. But I can understand how hard that could be. And maybe you get down on yourself and you're like, gosh, we've spent everything. How are we going to make it through the next month? Well, there's a little bit of hope coming with the Trump administration. That's the kind of message that I want to send today.
I'm just buying everybody condoms for Christmas this year.
You better, dude.
Parabellum, now that you mentioned that was actually one of the reasons on the tariff deferment that we were just talking about, that he wanted to try to get it out as early as this month. Because,
Yes.
I mean, what a way to boost the economy than to put that money out right now when everybody spends.
It would be beautiful during Christmas.
It's
It
going
would
right
be.
back into the economy.
Absolutely. It would spur a huge spend in the economy. I don't know what the effects would be, later on down the road, but I mean, it can't be bad.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I think it's going to be like somewhere closer to midterms before that tariff deferment payment possibly comes out, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well,
like
you
I
don't
said,
want to time that politically.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Because if Trump's doing these big tax returns this year, the economy, like I was talking about a minute ago, Jerome Powell lowering interest rates for the third time, gas prices going down and stuff like that. People's going to start looking and say, hey, this guy Trump, he's not too bad. He's he's doing good for us. Maybe we should vote in the midterms and
Absolutely
get
It
his
makes
people
sense.
in there.
I mean, a logical person thinking, I would say that is the political play. That is what you should do. You should play off your strengths. You should play off your accomplishments. And that's exactly what I think the Republican administration is going to do. The Democrats can try, but you just cannot defeat the truth, man. You cannot defeat the accomplishments that the Trump administration has had. And they're only going to continue to get better.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for financial type stuff that's going on. You guys got anything else?
Nope, that's about all I got. You got anything, Big Country?
No, that's about it for me, man. Just really waiting on some of this healthcare stuff to get under control.
Oh
though. I
yeah,
know-
that's correct. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say we recently had the open enrollment came up for people to sign up for their insurance.
Yep.
Not really seeing much change right there just yet, but hopefully in the coming years, maybe.
It will.
Absolutely. That's another thing that's going on is you got the Minnesota welfare fraud case busting out wide open. There is just fraud all within the Obamacare system, and it's all popping out. Oh God, dude, it's going to get really crazy with the Obamacare. That's something I've been predicting since the beginning of this. That eventually it may be the end of it. Well, we just had a vote. That's what it was. We just had a vote actually that even Republicans sided with the Democrats, and they did vote in the House or the Senate, I can't remember, to push forward the Obama or the Affordable Care Act subsidiaries. They voted in favor to pass it and go ahead and extend the Obamacare plan. That was a big downer, in my personal opinion, for them to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, just anybody working for like private employers or whatnot. I know myself, I just took a 4% increase on mine. So
You're going to. So you got people like that. Maybe the middle class is going to have to pay. Maybe you make it up to an assistant general manager salary or something like that. Maybe you're somebody like that at a fast food restaurant or maybe at Walmart or whatever. I promise you, you're going to end up paying for those Obamacare coverages. And that's what a lot of this fight, I think, is about. The low income is going to immediately get covered. The higher class and the middle class, they're going to have to cover that low income. And that's the taxes that we have to pay every year. So you got a big squabble. And you got the subsidiaries in the middle of all that, or subsidiaries, that are becoming increasingly expensive. And apparently the Obamacare system just never worked. And that was one of the biggest lies ever told. You guys remember, like, when Obamacare first came out and even into the first, 5 or 8 years after, nobody could ever say anything bad about Obamacare. Even as Republicans, like, well, Barack, that's one of the only good things he ever really did. I'm glad that those conversations are coming around full circle these days because people are starting to see Obamacare was fraud.
Speaking of, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with Parabellum. You can go ahead, Hicks.
Oh, speaking of Obamacare and the whole entire system, I'd found this video. I'd posted on my personal Facebook page the other day, but I'd found this video and I thought it was really interesting because it gets into big pharma, like we were talking about with the financial system and stuff like that. She's kind of given a description of how you were led into depend on this kind of stuff. And it goes back into, in my opinion, like what she talks about big pharma, Obamacare and stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to give that a play. It kind of reminded me of it when you were talking about it there. But let's check this out real quick.
Democrats don't bite the hand of the people that feed them, which is government.
Check it out.
Best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of the creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers that they have and are never satisfied. Build a society around them in which those who have money benefit and those who don't fail. Make money their main focus, but make it so difficult to accumulate that they remain in a place of constant struggle, forced to dedicate the majority of their time to the system that made it this way. Tax them in every way possible, but tell them that it's for their own benefit so that they don't think twice about paying it. Take so much of their time and energy throughout the week, but give them 2 days to themselves so that they feel a sense of reward and don't fight back. Promote the consumption of poison in every social setting so that even on those 2 days, they remain disconnected from themselves and each other. Pump their food with excess sugars and addictive chemicals, but make it cheap, advertised, and easily accessible so that they never stop consuming. When their food makes them ill, prescribe them medication that only masks the symptoms so that they become dependent on it every day. Charge them so much money for healthcare so that they stay in a constant loop of consuming, medicating, and working. Cause chaos amongst them and blame it on a group of their own so that they form judgmental stereotypes. Turn them against each other in so many ways so that even if they were to connect on one, they would still be divided by another. Best way to gain control.
Oh, sorry. So, what she said there about healthcare, charge them, pretty much get them hooked on the drugs, make them dependent on it, that they need that, and then charge them so much for healthcare that they can't barely afford it and they have to work with the, like the financial system. So it all ties together, people. It all ties together. It's everything you've been taught, everything you've learned, or the bulk of everything you've learned has all been a lie and all been set up to cause you to fail. They don't want successful, smart
government
people.
dependency. That's exactly where they want you.
Everything that she just said, and for the people out there watching, if you've never read it before, I'm going to drop a book title here real quick. It's called The Zion Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. If you haven't read it, get on YouTube and check it out. Everything that she just talked about is in there.
Can you pull that link up real quick, Parabellum, and we'll put that in chat, or you want me to do it?
I was just putting the name of the book up, Zion Protocols.
It's The Learned Elders of Zion.
Okay.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull up our next, if you can get that link, let me share that tab.
Or it may be under Zion Protocols, Parabellum. I wished I had the ability to do it, but I'm sporting on a iPhone here to the show.
That's all right. We got you.
There you go. It's the Protocol of the Elders of Zion.
Yep.
And let's go ahead and put that up there.
There you go. Pop that in chat.
That's it's a wiki thing, whatever. It's the first thing I grabbed. I'm not a wiki fan, but whatever. It'll show you the book.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to. It won't let me click on that link in chat. I was going to put it in the other chats that we're on, but let's see.
So what was that about? About the protocols? What was you saying, Big Country?
Just basically everything in the clip that Hex 7 just played. It's in that book.
Okay, cool. Good. Then you had
just talking about how to divide the country, how to divide the world, basically.
Absolutely. And then you had Barack Obama. As far as a third election, what he'd do, that old video, everybody knows that, what he'd do in order to run a third presidency from behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like a lot of that stuff could kind of go together.
Yeah. I can think of another example of what she just said, too, and I know both of you have probably heard it. It was an old Paul Harvey clip when it said, "What would I do if I was the devil?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
that was a good one. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up real quick, because that'd be really good to play.
Absolutely. You can pull it up. I'll tell you what, and while you're pulling that up, you just want to jump into another topic real quick?
Yep, go right ahead. I'm going to pull this up.
Okay, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to jump straight into, my goodness, did you guys see Erica Kirk's response to the reporters of what was going on with everything that's been going on with Candace Owens? I know here at Same Q's Different Views. That's right. Mama Bear come
got
out.
Them claws out, baby.
Yeah, here at Same Q's Different Views, we try to kind of stay away from that topic, kind of give it what Hex 7 calls 72-hour rule, which is a little bit longer in this case, to see what really formulates and what's really going to happen here before we say anything. But this response, so anybody that knows and's been following anything, you've got a whole Candace Owens following, and you've got supporters on both sides with Erica Kirk as well. Candace has been dropping all kinds of information apparently about French Legionnaires being involved, and Brigitte Macron, and people trying to take her life, and all this stuff. So anybody that follows that, you're going to know. But if you haven't seen that stuff, go ahead and check it out on X or Facebook. Look up what's going on with the Candace Owens show, if that's something that interests you. Let me tell you, here is the response to Erica Kirk for the first time, who's never said anything about Candace, never opened her mouth. This is the first response, and I just want you to check out the laser mama bear eyes in this lady.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point.
Dude, her
she
whole
has been
demeanor
one of the
changed right
main
there.
peddlers of
Yeah.
these conspiracies.
Absolutely.
And she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her
Oh,
business
God.
off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the
Oh,
other
my
people
Lord.
that are putting
Those
these
eyes
lies
tell so
out
much.
into the world right now?
Stop. That's it.
Oh.
That's all I have to say. Stop.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like you could, there was fire in those eyes.
Any man who ever had a mama that they
Yeah.
loved and respected knows that look. You know what I mean?
You go get a shoe coming at your ass.
Brother, you better stop what you're doing right now.
That's
No, don't stop that.
SASO right there.
Yep.
Girls. Guys know that look, and it
Yep.
scares us half to death. I know.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't speak for everybody. But
Hey,
But,
I'll tell you the same thing. I went earlier pre-show. I went to the living room. My wife has a bag of Hershey Kisses with almonds sitting on the stand beside the couch where she's sitting at.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know where this is
you
going.
try
She
to
had-
touch it. You
well,
try
no,
to touch one.
She had them sitting there since last night. So I get up this morning and I'm like, "Ooh, Hershey Kisses with almonds."
Piece
I
of
grabbed me a piece of candy, and I grabbed me a handful of them, stuck in my pocket. So when I went in, that was this morning. I went in there and I'm like, I grabbed some of them, and she gave me the most evil eye look. Touch my candy, I will kill you.
You done messed up, bro. Don't you know that's for decoration?
I got the Erica Kirk eyes when I done that. And told her.
You side-eye me, boy.
She was ready to slap the hell out of me, it looked like. But anyway, Paul Harvey, we were going to do
You
that.
find some audio on it, Hex?
I've got the actual video clip here.
Okay.
Brad Dyson had posted on YouTube, so we'll give that a play here. Let me pull it up. Let me full screen that, and let's check it out.
Yeah, this is a
If
good one.
I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness.
Real quick, I do want to say, I think maybe you had said this, Big Country, but I think this is a lot like what she was saying in the clip I played too.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That, that's the only reason it made me think of
Yep.
this audio clip.
yeah, I forgot all about this, but let's finish this.
I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers.
Can
With
you
the
do
wisdom
French
of a
toast?
serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve. Do as you please.
You can have 2 pieces, put in
To
35
the young,
parts.
I would whisper that the Bible is a
2
myth.
French
I
toast.
would convince
Give her
them that
sugar-free
man
syrup.
created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with...
So I want to pause that right there for just a second. Why is that back up there?
Oh, wow. I got you.
Yeah, put my screen back up.
Let me see. if
But
I can
anyway,
find
I got it. I want to pause that right there for just a second because what he was talking about with the television and getting dirtier and dirtier.
Oh, absolutely. That's what happened over generation after generation. We've just seen that happen.
Because like you go back to
Make sales, baby.
you go back to the 50s, or even before that. Like look, a perfect example. Look at women's bathing suits back in the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Versus what women wear now. It's slowly been put out
Normalized.
there,
Less and less.
normalized that to make it more acceptable. And it's the same with like TV shows, the things you see on on TV shows is done to brainwash you and make it more acceptable. So I just kind of wanted to, touch on that for a second, but let's get back into it.
With themselves and nations at war with themselves until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions, just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door.
Huh, how about that
Within
shit?
a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing.
Sounds like it
I'd
was
have
predicted.
judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol
like
of
the
Easter
Catholic
an egg and the symbol of
Church and the
Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And
That's absolutely what
dress you
happened.
in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
I mean, my God, how many things was he absolutely
Yeah,
spot
like
on about?
he was spot on.
Nailed every bit of it.
Gambling, making it. You got FanDuel, you got Vegas casinos and stuff like that.
It's almost like these horrible people with these horrible ideas got a hold of this information then and was like, hey, let's just run with that idea. That's a money-making scheme right there.
Yeah,
You know?
or take from the ones that have and give to the ones that wanted until the ambition was killed.
Yep.
I mean, to me,
Absolutely.
that's what's going on with healthcare because we're
That's
paying for
healthcare.
every bit of that.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
where's the money going? To the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah,
It is. Actually, that was what was shut down today in Congress was the bill that President Trump was trying to work for to actually send money to each and every individual American. That way they could pick their own health care coverage
Yeah.
insurance.
Look, I had a big
Instead it
argument
went
with
to
my
big pharma.
wife on this last night.
Crazy.
She thinks I'm crazy for it, but
yeah. But anyway, Hex, I just thought that'd be a real good addition to the one that you played prior to that.
that is awesome because that pretty much, like I said, that's exactly what she was getting at.
Yeah.
Is how do you brainwash a population into
What was my? I don't even remember.
being sheep?
I guess what really hits home with it for me is how many years ago was the Paul Harvey one put out
Yeah.
versus what you just played, and he's spot on about everything.
Oh, I'll give you one more here real quick.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Trying to load up this video. I had another Erica Kirk response, which was a little bit longer.
All right. Let me share my screen again here real quick. This is another one who kind of hit like Paul Harvey did and like she did with what she was getting at. But this is George Carlin. And check out what he had to
I
say
love
here.
George, man.
Oh, yeah. This is fucking awesome. Check it out. Oh, sorry. There's the F word again.
Beep.
My apologies.
We're suffering lag.
But before my apologies, I want to say that this George Carlin video has a lot of F-bombs in it. So
It does. It's Carlin, so get ready.
Yep, get ready. So let's check it out.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying.
So what he said there, they own the judges, the congressmen, the Senate, and stuff like that, and they've got their hands in their back pockets. So this is one of the things I've tried to stress on the show, is that what Trump is doing right now is taking down this system. And again, it can't be done in just 1 year. It can't be done in just, it's going to take time. We are slowly going through that. We have to watch it and live through it and watch it be taken down little by little, but piece by piece, it is being broken apart. And we're going to get into some of that with Kash Patel later in the show, but let's continue with this.
Just a second, Hex,
Oh,
before
okay.
you do that. I know you were talking about it. It's going to take longer than a year to take this system down. What I think what a lot of people aren't realizing right now is they think that all these problems are just localized to the U.S., just to our country alone.
No, it's global.
When everything gets revealed and you see how deep that it goes and how far that the problem reaches, you're going to understand why it took so long.
Yeah, exactly. Trump said the swamp runs deep, and he wasn't bullshitting when he said that. The swamp does run deep. And the other thing too is you got to look at they've had what we come off the gold standard in 71, something like that, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But they've had over little over 50 years to put this system into place, and they've got things in place. Hold on a second. Let me meet Parabellum there for a second. Background noise. But they've had over 50 years to put this system in place. They've had over 50 years to put key components in this system that if they lose power, they still got these key components they have control of. Yeah. That they can put out propaganda. They can control certain aspects of this attempt to take them down. Yeah, that's what we're going through.
Had decades to perfect this system.
And it probably goes back more than 50 some years. If you really look at it, it probably goes back, since World War II or even deeper than that. But
Hex, me and you ought to know firsthand. I mean, how far this goes back with some of the things that we've looked into, it dating back to the Rothschilds.
Yeah, exactly. Dating back to the Rothschilds. Like this goes way back, people. This system it's a cancer that's not just like Big Country said. It's not just in the U.S. It's in the whole entire world, in every political global system. Yep, because they would use Operation Gladio to go in and install puppet government systems that they could control, and then they can create wars when they want to create wars to put a distraction up for whatever nefarious schemes they happen to be doing at the time. This whole system has been in place for years and years and decades. So it's going to take more than just a year to clean it out. But anything else?
Another point that I'd like to make too is you talk about how far that this goes back. Well, there's a lot of other countries that they've put this system in place, like the deep state, and they've been successful with it. To me, the U.S. is the last stronghold. If it doesn't stop here, it doesn't stop.
Exactly. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's in a queue, as if the U.S. falls, the world falls.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. You want to jump back into this?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, let's continue with some George Carlin and listen to what he says, people. Like he's spot on too on some of this shit.
Lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers.
Sheep.
Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody
That's all
seems to
coming to an
notice.
end.
Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all. Yeah, you know? And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
What a great point. The American dream. You have to be asleep to believe it.
Damn, George Carlin,
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, what was your friend's name that's watching tonight, Parabellum? I just want to say one more time.
Oh,
we apologize.
We're sorry.
Amy. And if she's still there, she's probably not there after that.
but he was speaking the truth.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
And again, like Big Country said, we dropped some curse words, but it's because we're passionate about what we're trying to put out.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. Well, yeah, it is too.
Look, every show we get done, I ask God for forgiveness. Forgive me for dropping them curse words, Lord.
You know it, buddy.
But yeah, like what he was talking about there, every bit of it is exactly like what Paul Harvey was saying, exactly like what that lady was saying, that you've been in a brainwashed system. The bulk, like I said, the bulk of what you've been taught over the years is bullshit. It's lies.
You're plugged in.
Yeah.
You are plugged into the matrix.
And the quicker you step back from that and take a look at that and see that, the quicker that your mind will open up and you'll be like, holy crap, they're right. Once you start digging and once you start looking at some of this stuff and looking up facts.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Anyway, me personally, from my logical point of view, I know that as Republicans and conservatives and Q followers, or we needed to look into what they called conspiracies and stuff like that. You know, it was absolutely needed for especially the last 50 years. But on the latter of that, I do think that we find ourselves in a different kind of administration, maybe a once in a lifetime kind of administration with so much transparency that maybe, just from my point of view, you know, I'm not saying stop altogether. I'm not saying that. But maybe you have an FBI or a DOJ that's telling you the truth. Maybe they're doing it by the standard of the law. Maybe they're actually trying to work for your best interest. And maybe you don't need to dive so deep into the rabbit holes like you once used to. I'm not saying abolish them. I'm saying.
Let's look at this here. Let's start with Trump first. Okay, so Trump was a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Trump never had to do this job. I mean, hell, he hasn't taken any pay from this. I know, especially his first term, he's never taken any pay from it. I'm assuming he's doing the same thing with this term. I've not really looked into it, but Trump never had to do this. He was a billionaire. He could have went retired on an island somewhere, lived a comfortable life, never had to put his family through any of the stuff that they've went through. But do you know why he done that? Because Trump is a patriot, and Trump believes that we can take back America. Trump believes that we can have a good, honest America. Yes. So here's one more. Here's one more for you too. Actually, there's multiple, but I'm just going to do Dan Bongino. You guys know who Dan Bongino is, right? He had a very, very successful alternative news channel that he done.
Number one viewer on Rumble, and he owned Rumble.
Yeah, and
gave it up.
Gave it up like he was making buku bucks off of this, and he gave it up to what's the FBI pay? If you want to look that up, Parabellum. What does he make as?
Carrots?
Yeah, compared to what he was making on Rumble.
A damn sight less than what he's getting right now.
Yeah. So you got these patriots who are willing to give up. It's not about money. They're willing to give up
$200,000. So that's the director.
That's just a tiny bit of probably what he was making off his live stream that he done every day.
Oh yeah.
So you got patriots like this who are willing to sacrifice that stuff, and I'm telling you, people, they're going for it. They're going for the golden age, and we will get there.
Yes.
But that's what you have to look at. You have to step back and go, well, like these people gave up this much money to do this shitty ass job.
Pay attention to the actions
and be slandered and be constantly bombarded with bullshit in the mainstream news, and have their families put through shit.
Here's my point, and I agree with that 100%, dude. I agree with that, and I think that's a great kind of message to put out. But just to further elaborate a little bit on my point and where we stand at today with the battle that we're at, and we always talk about exuberating patience and trying to work with this administration and give them time to be able to make things work out. Here's the deal. Like we always said, or like I always said, we had to dive down those dumpsters or dive down those rabbit holes. We had to dive down those rabbit holes and be able to find that information, because the media outlets and the legacy media and social media, they were all putting it out and they were distorting it, and we didn't know what to believe. So you found people like Q and you found people like us that, we're not afraid to ask those questions, and it was needed. It's absolutely needed. But
it is.
Here's my purpose and my point for saying that. There comes a time, in my personal opinions and beliefs, that if you find yourself in a once-in-a-lifetime administration like the President Trump administration, with everything that we have and all the pieces we have in play for this 5D chess, maybe it's time to believe him a little bit, because here's the deal. So much as you and each and individual American person knows that you had to go down that, dive in that dumpster for that info, or you had to go down that rabbit hole or queue, well, guess who else has caught on since then? Democrats. That's my point.
Yep.
Democrats have also caught on to that. So what do you think the Epstein crap was? They know that the most powerful thing that's happened in America has been we the people, and especially the people that did exactly what it is that I just said, dive down into the dumpsters and went in, and they weren't afraid to ask those questions. But the Democrats are catching on. I feel that that's happening a little bit.
Some of all fears.
So now you get them diluting that information. And it causes, you run into rhinos and you run into these sketchy situations. I believe that some of that has happened, and it's diluted the public opinion of what it is that, Republicans and conservatives are trying to do. And that's my ultimate biggest thing that I'd ever love to share with people.
Awesome. We've got a bigger show than I thought we had tonight after we went through this. We've not even got into the slides yet. We're 52 minutes into the show.
Make it a banger, man.
We're gonna go out with a bang. So
if you want, I do have that one other Erica Kirk video. It's just a minute and 45 seconds, a little bit longer to kind of encapsulate and finish off what it was we were talking about Erica Kirk and those mama bear eyes. My goodness.
Hey,
yeah.
Parabellum Hex, just for a second there, I know I told you guys before the show started I'd have to take a little brief recess to go get the girls, but I will be back for the second half of the show. Won't take a minute.
All right.
Sounds good, buddy.
We'll see you then, brother.
We'll see you then. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in, Hex, if that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and jump in with this other video, and then we'll just elaborate a little bit on this and see what, thoughts and opinions are that when this came out. Another interview.
Come after me. Call me names. I don't care. Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole. Whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this, excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
Wow. So there you go, man. Let me tell you something. So that video, very powerful to me. I think that's a very powerful Erica Kirk response. Like we were speaking about, she didn't say a single word up until all this point, after all of this other Candace Owens stuff went out. And there was, the French Legionnaires, and then, there's people after me, and then everybody that's been following the Candace Owens stuff, that's okay. But whenever I checked that out, man, one of the first things that I found was, hold on one second. One of the first things that I found was I read the comments to that video, and the conspiracy people and the people going down the Candace Owens rabbit hole and everything. You know what? They didn't hear a single word this American Widow had to say, and it absolutely, honestly baffled me that they couldn't hear nor see that this was a strong woman that's becoming a new CEO with her husband who was assassinated on live TV. Here's some of the things that she said, and some of these liberals and some of the people that even just going down the rabbit hole with Candace Owens, they failed to realize her saying, go down the rabbit hole, whatever, I don't care. Go after my family and my loved ones. That's enough. I'm done. She also said, and I think this is personally a little jab against Candace Owens, you're making money after every episode, hundreds of thousands of dollars. She said, no, that's enough. And this is righteous anger. She also called it a mind virus and that it's not healthy. And she explained to people that are doing this and going down that road, your words are powerful. And, to me, this is what I break down to in my mind. To me personally, I've always stood with Erica Kirk. I've always stood with her in that matter. I know that there's a lot of information out there and stuff that people want to put out and this, that, and another. But at the end of the day, if you go back like 4 or 5 episodes, you remember me saying, I said, the one thing you'd have to prove to me when this first happened is that Erica Kirk knew that this was going to happen, or that she was complicit, or that, she did this to be able to take over the enterprise. I mean, I called this out like 6 months ago. And then bam, Candace Owens shows up. You got all these things coming out. And then eventually the wife is implicated in the assassination of her own husband. This is absolutely insane to me. This is what I see when I break it down, Hex. This is what I see between these two women. Candace Owens, sorry, man. You're highly educated and you've got a lot of opinions, and that's okay. But when I look down to the core principles and the identities of these women that I see one that is founded in God, one that is solid, one that has a strong identity and a strong set of principles, one that did not run her mouth, did not say a single word. And every strong woman I ever met in my life, she kept her mouth shut and didn't say nothing until it was time. And I don't know about you, we were talking about mama bears and getting that look from mama bears. And to me, in my personal opinion, I think that when she did that, she did it perfectly as what I would consider to be a moral person, and a very strong woman. What do you think?
It was the same this morning. Like when I was watching CBS News and she was on there, or not. Well, they were showing clips. And by the way, tonight I wanted to put that on the show, but they were having the town hall with Erica Kirk tonight. But the lady who was interviewing her, I can't remember what her name was, but she was the one interviewing her, and she was talking about like what you were talking about with Erica Kirk being a Christian, and the lady came out and said, "I am not a Christian," and then she was also putting these taking these statements by Charlie Kirk out of context and throwing them up there. And Erica Kirk was just like giving her, like you need to listen to the whole entire interview. But I wanted to watch that tonight. But yeah, I agree with you. Like,
well, I just don't think that a lot of these liberals, first off, they can't even identify what a woman is.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, in my own personal opinion, they don't know what one looks like when it's looking you right in the face. When she's saying the things that she's saying, even these liberal women can identify what a woman is. And that's my personal, opinion. And I stand by it strongly. They don't know what a woman is. They don't know what it looks like when one's talking to you. They don't know what it looks like, when one's right next to you, when one's in your life, when one's connected to you. They don't. But a good man that has a good perspective and a good sense of identity and sense of morals, maybe about himself or a woman or anybody else that it may be, they can identify that. They know. And I think the American people, in the end of this one between Candace and Erica Kirk, I think Candace shoots herself in the foot, dude.
Yeah.
It's absolute career suicide, what it was she did. And I think she's going to do it over and over again. It's not going to work out in her favor. I have nothing against her, but it's not going to work out when you look at how humans interact with each other, down to the bare science and psychological level, all the way down to common sense, commonomics, whatever you want to call it, dude.
Yep.
This is how we interact with each other. And I tell you, Erica Kirk will win out.
Again, we're an hour into the show. We've not even got into any of the slides yet because we found so much stuff to talk about with just like what little bit of topics we come off up, the top of our head with at the top of the show. We still have slides to go through, but before we do and jump into these slides, if you want to throw those QRs back up there, we've got,
let me put them up there real quick.
we've got, people watching on all platforms, and I want to remind everybody that
appreciate your viewership.
Yeah, greatly appreciate the viewership. Thank you so much for watching the show. I hope you enjoy it. We are going to take a break from Same Cues, Different Views for a while. I talked about this top of the show. This is our last episode of 2025, unless something big breaks in between now and our point where we come back. We will try to cover something if it breaks, like big news or something, but we are actually going to take a break from the show for a little bit because we got other things we're trying to focus on in our lives. And plus we're doing another live stream show too, which is nothing political. It's about gaming. And if you are a gamer, we got Hex 7 live stream gaming on my channel over there. You can go follow Parabellum, myself. It's my two sons and a friend of my son, that we've all gamed together for quite a while, and we just kind of do a gaming show. But anyway, while you're watching the show, whatever platform you're watching on, I want to remind everybody there is a thumbs up down there. Go down and hit the thumbs up, give us a thumbs up on whatever platform you're watching, whether it be X, Rumble, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and hit the thumbs down. If you don't like the show, hit the thumbs down. We're all right with it.
All right, man.
We know we ain't the best.
Same views, different views.
We're patriots and we try to put out good stuff, keep everybody up to date. But anyway, on your screen there's two QR codes. There's one on the left side of the screen in
Facebook.
red. That's our Facebook group. There's that one, and there's one on the right side of the screen, which is our X account for Same Cues, Different Views. So if you are on a mobile device, you can screenshot that and then go back into your photos and hold down on either one of those QR codes, and it'll take you directly to our either X or Facebook account. And you can give us a follow on there too. Like we try to keep it updated with the latest news. Sometimes we don't get to. We work full-time jobs, but we try to keep keep it as updated as possible on there. But give us a follow, and if you have any suggestions for upcoming shows, let us know. We'd be glad to do it. One of the topics we had talked about possibly covering is the whole 9/11 rabbit hole and diving down that. That may be upcoming in the future.
That's a good one to dive down in.
But we are going to take a break from Same Cues, Different Views for a little while. But again, we may pop on from time to time live, just depending on what's happening in the news. But we will be back, and I'm thinking probably around close to spring of next year, we'll be back with more Same Cues, Different Views. But yeah, keep following us and hang in there with us. And also hang in this fight. Don't give up. We're seeing a lot of shit happening. That's what tonight's episode is mainly going to be tailored around. I know we kind of got off topic there. Well, maybe not really off topic, but we
it kind of goes with it. A lot
kind
of
of goes
stuff
with
is
it.
connected to
But
it.
some of all fears, and me personally, I was, thinking about that tonight, and like everything we've seen come out this year is kind of the sum of all fears, and it's not our fears or like the movie Sum of All Fears. I think it, in my opinion, what I wanted to get at with the show is it's the sum of all fears of the deep state. Like all this stuff's coming out.
Absolutely.
And
I
they're
can
being
do a quick
exposed.
rundown of a list, just kind of go with you on that. Like Sum of All Fears, what it is we're talking about. Let's talk about a little bit of the things that's happened in the last 3 or 4 years, just real quickly.
Yeah,
The
shoot.
WikiLeaks, DNC, the Podesta emails, okay? You had Crossfire Hurricane investigation and the FISA abuses, okay? Vault 7 CIA leaks.
FTX.
Michael Flynn, General Flynn, FBI interview controversy, and then him eventually getting pardoned by Trump. Everything like that went down. The Mueller report, the Durham report. CIA whistleblower, the Trump Ukraine scandal, that's gone on. A lot of this stuff has been uncovered since then, right? Jeffrey Epstein scandal and the client list release. Guess what? We're going to be getting into that a little bit later tonight. And a little dip of information I think that goes with that, Hex, is we got the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th.
Which
coming
is-
up. You guys
yep.
know what that is?
Bill and Hillary.
Bill and Hillary on the deposition with James Comer, and he says they will show up. We'll see.
How about that shit? That's going to start on the 17th.
Yes.
That's
Starting on the 17th. Believe it or not, Q drop, baby. Here we go. 101, 17. If you don't know, now you know. Hillary and Bill Clinton, 17th, 18th. And then guess what gets released on the 19th with the 30-day.
There's
wait
another
period.
one.
Yep. After the Epstein. Yeah. 30-day wait period. Here's
Done
another
in
one.
30.
Q drops right there.
Yep.
Done
There
in
you go.
30, right? Talking about
Yeah.
the Epstein client, the records released, the Epstein Transparency Act. That's going to be dropped December 19th. So there is a boatload of information coming up. A few more things just to finish up my little rant here, Hex, and then I will
With that,
yield.
with that done in 30 that you were going on there about, that's awesome. And one of the things with that too, I want to let people know is that Q told us that drops have multiple meanings. So done in 30, like this dropper, I think originally, what is it? This one? I think it was this one, possibly. I'd posted actually. Well, I'm not going to play it. We're already an hour in, but
we're putting it in, man.
one of my favorite shows, Absolute Storm, which used to be Eye of the Storm, had done a thing around the done in 30, and it was around John McCain at that time. So, drops have multiple meanings. And then here we got, this coming in 30. So
Absolutely, man. Just to expand that list of the sum of all fears. What about the 2021 Francis Hagen Facebook whistleblower? That was leaked documents that showed Facebook meta algorithms amplified divisive content and ignored harms, including the January 6 events. What does that mean? That means, if you guys remember, it was all liberal bias. Okay, they covered up their algorithms. They came out and they admitted the crap, and then they came back and said, "We're sorry." Dr. Ouchie, the emails, going around COVID-19. I call him Dr. Ouchie anymore. Dr. Ouchie with the jabs. What about all that stuff going on? And then the pardons, trying to stop all those pardons. President Trump coming up. The Twitter files released in 22-23. Again, we said the Durham report. That was 2023. Doge was created. All right. Declassified election documents in 2016. The list goes on, man. There's a lot of stuff that has happened behind the scenes, and it's more so happened within this Trump administration, which it really put it on the fast track as far as we're trying to get to the sum of all fears for these liberals, these far left Democrats, these crazy lunatics that have absolutely raped our country and took advantage of it. And it's beautiful to see an administration that says no more.
And
No
again,
more.
with the Paul Harvey, the lady that I'd played that clip, and with George Carlin, that's what you're seeing is the destruction of this whole entire corrupt system that's been in place, and they've had years and years and years to embed themselves.
They've rooted deep.
And this isn't, like Big Country said there a moment ago, this isn't just the United States. This system runs globally. So they've had years and years to embed themselves, and you're watching it being slowly dismantled. And it's not going to take. It can't take a year. It can't take 2 years. It may go a little bit longer than Trump's term. I don't know, but it's going to take a while to clean this whole entire system out, in my opinion.
They've been doing this for a very long while, man. Even since like the 20s and 30s, this has been going on. Like, ooh, a piece of candy. Here's a television. Ooh, piece of candy. Here's a PlayStation. Ooh, piece of candy. You know what I mean? It's just candy everywhere, dude. And then guess what? Nobody's watching anything. Here's an iPhone.
I've said it before. Bread and circus.
Two double-sided swords.
You can't just you got the things going on right now in the news is the shooter of Charlie Kirk. That's in the news right now, that trial.
Tyler Robinson.
You got Jasmine Crockett. You've got that's in the news. You've got Comey, the shit with him that's been in the news here lately.
Yep.
You got all these different things. You can't focus on just one of these things. You have
so
to.
Much.
Yeah. If we just arrest one of these people, is that going to solve the problem? No, it's not going to solve the problem. It has to be cleaned out. It
would be a nice Band-Aid. It'd make me feel really nice if we got one arrest. But
we're getting there. We're getting there. For a little while.
Yeah, but you need to resolve the problem. You're correct.
It takes time. We just have to kind of let it take time. But anyway, let's jump into this here and give it a little bit of a play.
Oh yeah, Lindell.
Lindell is running for Minnesota governor.
Oh wow, what a deal there, dude.
So I think this is it. Oh, nope. I don't know. Let me see here.
Okay.
John Solomon had this. Let's see what this is.
Uh-oh, I lost you. Well, that's all right. I guess he had to go take care of something real quick. Let me remove that. So let's jump into this just for a quick little video. This was Trump's response, guys, to Venezuelan oil boat that was captured, the cartel drug boat, but it was a ship. And President Trump's just basically telling them, I think we're going to keep that oil. So check this out.
Well, we keep it, I guess. But you have to follow the tanker. If you're a good newsman, just follow the tanker. Follow it. Get a helicopter. Follow the tanker. So we're gonna. I assume we're gonna keep the oil.
So that was a little bit of something in the middle. Well, I seen you had got up and went away, and the video didn't play, so I went ahead and flipped into something else.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just shooting to something else to be able to cover for that gap. But this was pretty cool. Did you see that with the Venezuelan ship and the seized oil that President Trump just seized?
Yep.
Oh man, insane! What about the response? I loved it.
You kind of caught me off guard there. I was getting into Mike
Lindell. Trying to pull up that Mike Lindell video, but it didn't play. Technical difficulties.
Huh. Let me try that again here real quick. Add to stage and
it's just the image, buddy. It's not the video. Yeah.
Well, the image links, but it links to let me share this screen. This is what it links to.
Oh, yeah.
This was the video, but I'd listened to some of it there, but it didn't really give any details onto Mike Lindell.
I can tell you what's going on with the details of that announcement. Mike Lindell, the founder and CEO of MyPillow and prominent ally of we know of President Donald Trump. He announced his candidacy for governor of Minnesota in the 2026 election. What's the platform highlights? What's he running on?
Who's
Lindell,
governor? Who's governor now?
That's Tim
Of
Walz,
Minnesota?
ain't it?
Yeah.
Tim No Balls. Tim No
Yeah.
Balls. I always called him Tim No Balls.
Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, if you put wings on a My Pillow and gave it to Tim. Just saying, dude.
But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Mike Lindell running for Minnesota governor. I think he'll get it too, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think he will. So he's running on stopping the fraud, securing borders, everything that basically what it is, you know, that President Trump and the administration stands for. I want to look a little bit into the background controversies here. A former crack cocaine addict turned entrepreneur. Did you know that's Mike Lindell?
Yeah, yeah.
I did not know he was a former crack cocaine addict. He's probably, you know, just like me, you know, 10 years, 11 years sober now and doing well. So I'm glad to hear stories like that. He's faced significant backlash for promoting unsubstantiated, they say unsubstantiated, but that just ain't been proven yet. But we know that a majority of that crap is real. But yeah, that blew my mind, man. Him running for governor, especially out with Tim Walz in Minnesota. You got the Somali deportations that are going down, and you got the National Guard really cracking down on them right now.
We also had, let me pull that up here real quick. I thought this was interesting, and I thought I had a video clip on this. I can't seem to find it, but BLM official in Oklahoma charged with money laundering. Let me see. Do you want to try to pull that up, or you want me to see if I can pull it up? A clip on it? I think it Fox
No,
News.
see if you can pull the clip up. I've got a little bit of the information in behind it coming in.
Give me just a second here, and let me see if I can search that real quick.
Okay, so has recently been charged with federal crimes related to financial misconduct. Named Tashella Sherry Amore Dickerson, 52, who serves as the executive director of Black Lives Matter, Oklahoma City, was indicted on December 3rd by a federal grand jury in the Western District of Oklahoma. What are the charges? They stem from allegations that she embezzled over $3 million in funds intended for pretrial bail support for individuals in need. Oh my Lord! Did we create a con? Did we get something on the side? Yes, we did.
1 second, commercials play.
Yeah,
But I've got.
That's okay. So what it is, she's facing 20 counts of wire fraud, 5 counts of money laundering, and if convicted, she could face up to 20 years in prison for wire fraud count and up to 10 years for money laundering account, along with potential fines and restitutions. But anybody who's ever been through any kind of a judicial system, maybe you had some of those watered down beans in a jail cell. You most likely aren't going to get that. You're going to take 3 and run to the house, and you're going to get something a little bit smaller.
So here's what Fox has on it.
Here we go.
Black Lives Matter in trouble again. The leader of the Oklahoma City chapter is accused of using
Can you turn up that
millions of
volume? There we
donations
go.
as her personal ATM, and now she faces 25 federal counts. That's very serious. David Spunt, live from Washington with more. Hi, David.
Hi, Dana. Her name is Tashella Sherry Amore Dickerson. According to federal prosecutors, she's 52 years old. She ran Black Lives Matter, the Oklahoma City branch, and is charged with wire fraud and money laundering. Authorities say she began her tenure leading the organization in OKC back in 2016, giving her access to PayPal, Cash App, bank accounts of the Black Lives Matter chapter. They say that she put at least $3.5 million, $3.15 million, I stand corrected, in return bail checks supposed to be used to post bail for people into her personal accounts.
Somebody
rather
hit DoorDash
into
and
chapter
Instacart.
accounts. These are some of the allegations where authorities say she was involved traveling to Jamaica, tens of thousands, retail shopping, $50,000 in food, and deliveries, personal vehicle registered in her name, 6 properties in Oklahoma City in her name, or a business that she controlled. Authorities say some of this all took place around the time of the death of George Floyd, which prompted, in some cases, violent protests across the country in 2020. Now, the BLM national office telling Fox News she is part of a separate local organization. Writing to us, the Black Lives Matter movement practices a model of decentralized leadership. The Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation operates independent relief from local chapters, and the local chapters operate independently of the foundation, end quote. Now, we reported, Dana, at the end of October that the Justice Department is probing Black Lives Matter overall, looking at whether senior leaders in the organization may have potentially defrauded donors during those 2020 protests. If convicted, Ms. Dickerson could face 20 years behind bars and a fine of up to $250,000 for each count of wire fraud. And there are 20 wire fraud counts out of those 25 counts total. Dana.
Well, they uncover it bit by bit. Thanks, David.
Wait. What was that?
Out of those 25 count of wire years behind bars and a fine of up to tests. If convicted, Ms. Dickerson could face 20 years behind bars and a fine of up to $250,000 for each count of wire fraud. And there are
20 wire fraud counts. And what was it? $10,000 or $20,000 per account? I don't know. Anyway, she's effed. You there, Parabellum? Did I lose you? Oh, I think Parabellum's kind of busy. But anyway, wow, Blacklight. Like, she took this money and she didn't use it for what she was supposed to use it for. She was spending it on food. She was spending it on homes. She was spending it on luxury items and stuff like that. That's what she done with this money and laundered it. And now this BLM leader in Oklahoma is about ready to go to prison.
Wow, man. Sorry about that. I had my lady, she's need to talk to me real quick.
Oh,
that is
problem.
absolutely insane. I mean, you see the corruption that's going on everywhere, dude.
Yep.
You got the Minnesota welfare fraud. You've got this going on with Black Lives Matter. And we knew there was corruption before, with other leaders within the BLM network. And anybody that was basically attached to anything that was ever liberal, it seems like there's just crime and corruption follows it, don't you think?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it absolutely blows my mind. And, just like
But
Christy
again,
Nome,
some of all fears, they're being exposed. Little by little, they're being exposed.
well, check this out. You got Christy Nome. If you don't care, we'll jump into that real quick. I have a couple videos. I was hoping Big Country would be back for me to be able to play this for him. He was wanting to see it. But
Well, if you want to hold off on it, like we can
Go
get
ahead.
into the okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you can save that for Big Country because
Oh, yeah,
wait.
go ahead.
wrong one. There we go. Again,
All right.
John Solomon had posted this on X.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I got you.
okay.
We'll hit that up on set full screen.
Let me biggie size that. Maybe I can.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so John Solomon posting
ahead. Yep, go ahead.
says, except when they say the word cold, they have to precede the word by 2 words. Clean, beautiful. So we only called coal clean, beautiful coal. President Trump also harshly critiqued wind power, viewing it to be inferior to coal, in which I agree with.
All right, so let's give this a play.
Miners, they're
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Why is that not?
I didn't add the stage, did it?
Nope.
$3,300.
There it is. Let me rewind it. There we go.
The worst. For miners, their wages went up $3,300, and we're bringing back coal. But my administration cannot talk about anything else except when they say the word coal, they have to precede the word by 2 words. Clean, beautiful. So we only call coal clean, beautiful coal. Is that right, fellas?
Mhm.
Because coal needs a little public relations help.
That it does.
It's a very powerful fuel. It's used by China. China makes all our windmills, but they don't have any wind farms. It's a little interesting, isn't it? Wind is the worst.
Yeah, imagine that.
That's a
Mhm.
scam. They ruin your valleys. They ruin your peaks.
They've already overpopulated their country. They have no space to build anything else. They definitely don't have windmill farm space.
Make a fortune. You have to change your windmills, and most of them are made in China. But China has very few wind farms. You know why? Because they're smart. You know what they do have? A lot of coal. They love coal, so that's okay. We have clean, beautiful coal.
I remember a conversation we had on the show. What was it? Probably 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So maybe 3 months ago. I'd had this argument on X.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, about
You remember
wind
that?
farms in comparison to coal.
Yep. So
Yeah, absolutely, man.
there you go.
Here's the funny thing about that is that even under the Trump administration, a lot of people in the first Trump administration, they didn't realize how much he went after natural gas and how much he even went after green energy. He supported every bit of it. He's doing it again in this next administration, but he's doing it smartly. You can't just unplug coal and you can't plug in a freaking windmill, okay, and run the entire power grid of the United States, which is exactly what I think the Biden administration tried to do. We got into that conversation about windmill. It was offshore turbine windmills were absolutely devastating to the environment. They were devastating to the economy. The Green New Scam came out of all that, and a lot of that's been rescinded since then. But these windmills, man, were leaking hazardous chemicals out into the ocean. Okay, they're setting off apparently high decibel sounds that are messing with whale populations. That was another thing that came out. Whether that was confirmed or not, I cannot tell you that 100%, but I would imagine offshore turbine windmills are the worst, even in comparison to windmills. They don't produce enough kilowatts or megawatts or whatever it is to be able to even power the
I wish
American
I wish I could pull that up that I'd done. I'd showed it on the show, but like the comparison from wind turbines versus coal energy, like I'd looked it up and done a lot of research on it. And I annihilated this person on Facebook, or not Facebook, but on it was X. I annihilated this person on X.
Do you know where I learned my first lesson in the difference between? This is going to be crazy, but you know, I was born in '85, so I got to be able to do a little bit of video gaming, and this is a weird explanation, but the first time that I ever got to figure out that coal and nuclear power plants were the best in comparison to windmill farms was a little game that came out in 2000 called SimCity 2000. I don't know if you guys ever got to play that.
I never played it. I heard of it, but I've never played it.
That taught me so much right then and right there about economy, and I love that game. I still love it to this day. The old school retro SimCity 2000, where it is basically you tried to make a metropolis, you know, something like New York or Las Vegas, a metropolis, large city.
So
right?
basically in the game,
windmills.
So basically in the game, you could be a libtard and go windmills, or you could be a conservative and use coal and natural gas. And
so, yes, as a young man, I was always conservative to the heart. You know, growing up a little bit in the outskirts of the Bible Belt with some good upbringing, and to me, it was always get smart and start with coal. Then get you a couple of them nuclear power plants, and then there you go. You start building big cities, and metropolis, and rural areas, and you can build farmland. But guess what? When you start trying to switch that over to windmills, even within the game, which can be applied to real life, you lose all that land. You start losing industrial land. You start losing farmland. You start losing, natural lakes, man-made lakes where you can do fish aquariums. It never made sense. It blew my mind.
One of the reasons I wanted to play that Trump coal thing tonight was because, we're in the heart of Eastern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of coal miners around here, Kentucky, West Virginia, tri-state area. Yeah, just to let you guys know, Trump's For You business is back, and you guys will be okay before it's over. Yeah, I see more and more every day going up and down the road as I go to work every morning.
And I love it. I love the smell, because that's the smell of success. You can kiss my tail if you don't like it. That's the smell of success.
Not just coal trucks, but like I see flatbeds, tractor trailers hauling equipment to job sites, like, you know, maybe
Oh,
a
absolutely.
toll site or something like that. But
You see them all up and down the highway. They're everywhere now. You run by those old coal mines that were shut down for the last 15 years. You drove by and it looked like a ghost town. Guess what? They're back in operation. And it's a beautiful sight when you drive through here and you get to see those things, you know.
it is. Let me check on Big Country here and make sure he's all right, because I know
Yeah,
it's
that's
snow.
okay.
It's kind of cold here. The weather's shitty, so let's see what's happening with him.
Okay. Cool deal. Well,
But all
I
right,
had a couple. Here's another one that I just want to put out real quick. We were talking about some of the information that came out with President Trump. So there was a new executive order that came out, and this is in regards to Dr. Fauci. I don't know if you got to see this, X7, but a new executive order. I'm going to play the video, and then we'll talk about it, okay?
The first relates to gain of function research. Gain of function research is a type of biomedical research where pathogens are adulterated, viruses are adulterated to make them more potent or to change the way that they function. Many people believe that gain of function research was one of the key causes of the COVID pandemic that struck us in the last decade. What this executive order does, first of all, it provides powerful new tools to enforce the ban on federal funding for gain of function research abroad. It also strengthens other oversight mechanisms related to that issue and creates an overarching strategy to ensure that biomedical research in general is being conducted safely and in a way that ultimately protects human health more.
It's a big deal. Could have been that we wouldn't have had the problem we had.
A lot of people say that, sir.
If we had this done.
So that was some big news that I felt that came out. The executive order dropped from President Trump on stopping gain of function research. And we all know it started, you know, China, Wuhan, you know, we've known for years. Dude.
China.
Okay, yeah, we've known. That's exactly where it came from. It came from the horse's mouth. We've known it forever. And to be able to see this.
Well, this also goes back. Well, I can't remember what the doctor's name was. Mikovich, I think was her last name.
Mm-hmm.
I've got it on my Rumble channel. That's one of the first videos ever posted on my Rumble channel. But
oh wow, yeah.
She's talking about this. Like she worked with Fauci, and she's talking about during the AIDS pandemic when it broke out that Fauci had a lot to do with possibly kind of gain of function research shit to get the AIDS virus out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it even goes further back into that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this goes back quite a while, this gain of function research. And like, you know, that's what they do, I guess.
Anybody that's ever seen a Hollywood movie and there was a doctor or a scientist or somebody in it, I would imagine that you guys know that they're always looking for someone to fund their research. You know? Okay, sure, it's in the movies, but if everybody's looking at you,
well,
you know what I mean? Like,
again,
it must be something to it.
We've talked about this on the show a couple times, like with, you know, you're talking about movies there. We had what was the movie? I can't think of the name of the damn movie, but you know, you had the incident in Ohio with the train derailment. What was the town?
Oh, let me pull
crap.
it up.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm having a brain fart.
East Palestine, Ohio.
East Palestine. Okay, so that happened, but prior to that happening, a movie came out on Netflix that was about the exact same thing in the exact same town.
Wow, it's insane, man. I mean, you go
Like,
back, you look at the Simpsons.
You were talking,
Simpsons did it.
Well, again, with the Simpsons, I don't think it's predictive programming. I think it's conditioning.
It is conditioning
To get
absolutely.
you used to the idea, like we were talking about this with the bikinis and stuff like that, kind of the same thing. You know, it gets you used to, okay, well, this happened in the Simpsons, so okay, well, here it is.
Yeah, it's absolute condition, psychological conditioning. That's exactly what's happened over the years.
And a lot of those
you
Simpson
see
clips
it
you
through-
see generated, they're not real Simpson clips. I just
Oh,
wanted to put
absolutely.
that.
Well, you see that happening over the course of the last 50 years. I mean,
But that's
you
what
know,
they do with a lot of these movies and TV shows is they put out this propaganda. The left, the deep state would put out this propaganda because who controls most of Hollywood as far as like movie production?
The left.
The left and
Big Pharma?
the United
Left.
States government control a lot of it. So, Obama, what was the movie him and Michelle produced on Netflix? Leave the World Behind.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a dirty porno with Michael.
I heard Bev in the background.
He's dying laughing, dude. That killed her. Oh,
But yeah, like a lot of what you're seeing a lot of what you've seen goes back to what I said with I'll quote him again. Is it the Roman poet Juvenal?
oh, sorry.
The Roman poet Juvenal, give them bread and circus and they will never revolt. You get entertainment. We are the only country that I know of that pays for their own brainwashing and propaganda to be subjected to them as a people. So, like I was talking about this whole entire thing with TV that you watch, it's all pre-programmed propaganda, or well, a lot of it is. But then you've got the white hats who have also done the same exact thing and kind of use their own tool against them with that, because you've got a lot of movies that's come out that kind of point to a lot of things. There's a lot of Q references, a lot of MAGA references in a lot of movies that's came out that kind of point to the exact kind of same thing. What's your take on that, Parabellum? Oh,
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of that I had to take care of. What was your question next?
I was talking about the movies, how the left has kind of propagandized a lot of movies and put out stuff to normalize shit that shouldn't be normalized. But then you've also had the white hats who have also kind of took some of that back and put out movies that actually promote positive stuff and give nods and winks to shit that's actually going on in the world right now.
Absolutely. I think that's 100% correct, man. They've been doing it for years because they know that's where it puts money into their pocket to be able to line with things like that out in, California, Hollywood. They've been dived in with everything like that. So then you see something amazing come out like the Angel Network. I don't know if you've seen that.
Angel Network. No, I've not
Angel
seen that.
Network. That's something that comes out. It's a Christian network that just came out, and I've seen a lot of really good movies.
Oh,
come out.
wait.
Michael Chiklis.
Yeah,
and
I know what you're talking
football
about. Yeah.
movie. And
Yeah.
there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, so you see things like that coming out.
The
and,
production
you see
company.
the good stuff like that, like Hallmark type stuff. That's conservative people.
That's the
And, it's starting to make a comeback.
that's the production company, right? Angel Studios. Is that what you're talking
Angel
about?
Studios. Yes,
Yeah,
Angel Studios. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's
they
correct.
put out a lot of good content, and I recommend watching. Like I've watched a couple of theirs. I
Their
recommend
last two
watching.
movies have been fire.
Yep.
There's one about I think Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, and then there's another one with Michael Chiklis, I do believe, and it's about a rising older NFL football player. I highly suggest that you check those movies out. They're really good with your family.
All
a lot
right,
of
Big
good times.
Country. Big Country said he's about home. He's going to join us here in just a second, but we'll jump into this. I don't know if I want to get into this. Heck with it. I'll pull it up. You got our old buddy once again, back in the news. Kilmore Abrego Garcia, federal judge prohibits immigration officials from detaining Kilmore Abrego Garcia. So he's back in the news. I seen this morning on CBS, and apparently they are not going to do anything with him at the moment, but I think it's coming. But Kilmore Abrego Garcia was released from immigration detention Thursday. His attorney, got Big Bill's foot over it. San Salvador. How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Sandoval Moschenberg.
Sandoval Moschenberg, yeah. Told ABC News his release came after federal judges on Tuesday ordered Abrego Garcia released. U.S. District Judge Paula, what is that? Zanis? Xinis? Zanis?
Close enough. Zennis.
Okay. Paula Zanis said, excuse me, said in, oh, wait, we got Big Country back.
Oh, there's Big Country.
Let me pop him back up here.
Yo, Big Country, welcome back, buddy.
But Abrego Garcia's wonderful detention in El Salvador. He has been re-detained again without lawful authority. So they're fighting to get him actually, I think this morning, like I said on CBS, they've got him back out of there. But I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. I think our old friend Albrego Garcia is going to go back to jail and be done with. But let's move into.
Hold on, let's see here. Yeah, there was a temporary restraining order that the judge put out blocking ICE from re-detaining him, actually.
Yep.
Citing irreparable harm to his liberty. And that's where we're at today. So continued fight against the injustices of the government. That's what the Garcia is trying to say.
This kind of goes with that. It's Boasberg and again, John Solomon posted this on X. Breaking DOJ moves to boot Boasberg from case ahead of contempt hearing. So Boasberg was over the Alien Enemies Act case, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what he was doing?
Yep.
Which also kind of goes back to Garcia there a little bit because this was MS-13 gangs that the Alien Enemies Act was targeting. The Trump administration had targeted with those.
Yes.
So didn't we find out that Garcia was part of the MS-13 gang?
Well, we did. There was a lot of information that was put out. And then, of course, social media and the far left liberals, they try to contest it. They see the MS-13 on the knuckles. There's a lot of common sense stuff. But in the court of law and litigation, things are different. It's like, oh, well, you got to prove it.
Well,
whatever.
Again, with Garcia being part of MS-13, and then you got Boasberg being booted out. Like I said, I think Garcia is going to end up getting what he deserves in the end, and he'll be put back in prison before all this is over with, in my opinion. Any thoughts on that?
Let me see here. Trying to pull it up real quick.
All right.
Let's see here. I'm just reading through a little bit of information. They've got impeachment efforts that started in March 18. Representative Brian Gill introduced House Resolution 229 to impeach Boasberg for high crimes. Trying to get into that. Did that happen?
What was it?
Did he get impeached? I know that was the big topic that was going on, is whether he was going to get impeached or not.
I don't know if he's got impeached yet or not.
I think that's the move that we're looking for. That's where we're at right now.
That's what they were getting at with that.
Yeah, Boasberg was ridiculous. Post on X, they pretty much label Boasberg out of control, a radical judge, or even call for his arrest. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Boasberg.
Okay. What are we, an hour?
I got something for Christy Nome for Big Country coming back in. If you want to do that real quick. Or you got something else?
Oh, yeah. I was going to do this. Wait, not that one. One
That
second.
woman's after my heart.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. Absolutely.
Man, that hearing she was in the other day was absolutely vicious. I know you've got a
It
little bit of
was.
video on it, but
Well, I'm saving that for you. If that don't make your heart tickle there, Big Country, I don't know. Show her your weapons. But
I got
can
it.
tell you.
home in 2028.
I missed the slide.
That's okay. She was basically, so that was going on. I know that she absolutely obliterated, honey.
You tell them, Parabellum.
Sorry.
Okay, so while Parabellum's dealing with that, I'm going to jump into this slide here real quick.
Did you see how he shut that down?
The storm has arrived had posted this, and President Trump says that over the next couple of months, there will be evidence coming out proving that the 2020 election was stolen, which reminded me of Q Drop 3071. And Q Drop 3071, to summarize this week, RED's prep to steal election. Q told us about, and mind you, this was 2019, this Q Drop, but Q told us in 2019 that they were going to steal the 2020 election. So
Yeah.
Q says, to summarize this week, RED's prep to steal elections. Attack Fox News to control. But anyway, Q goes on through all that entire thing, giving us the whole entire spiel and rundown of how they were going to steal the election.
It depends. Butter is not butter. This contains palm
What?
oil.
What is that?
I'm trying to mute it. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, what the hell is that?
Okay, I got it now.
But anyway, Trump was
Pulling
giving
our
us.
show back up.
Oh, okay. Trump was giving us or not Trump, but Q was giving us information about they were going to steal the 2020 election. And let's take a look at what Trump had to say here in this little clip. It's pretty good. There it is.
Our election wasn't rigged. It was a rigged election. Now everyone knows it. It's going to come out over the next couple of months too, loud and clear, because we have all the information there. You got to think of it. If our election.
So our election was rigged. It's going to come out in the next couple months. So do you remember? I think it was, well, not just that, but the past two shows I've been talking about a possible Christmas present coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's more than one.
It's going to be plenty the fallout. From this.
Well, actually, this and maybe like, he said over the next couple months, but I think the big one's going to be the Epstein stuff. That's going to be our Christmas gift.
Yeah, it's going to rock the world if they can do enough. Of course, they're going to redact and retract the victims' names and all that and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But we also know they've all came forward anyway, so we'll see where that cookie crumbles whenever it all comes out. But a lot of these files have been pushed through, ain't they, Hex? To where we're going to see them on December 19th.
Yep.
I can't wait.
17th or 19th?
19th, 17th, and 18th is the deposition for Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Oh, okay, yeah. But anyway, like you was telling us,
That's going to be awesome too.
The 2020 election was going to be stolen, and then now we're seeing evidence come out about it. If you look back at the first part of this year, again, some of all fears, Trump was talking about pushing this, or Trump was trying to get this 2020 election information out there, and it's slowly starting to come out now. And I think before this is over, we'll see, and the American people, the general public who is uninformed about this is going to finally see that, the 2020 election was stolen. The video, what was it? Last week's show, we had played that video, or maybe it was the week before last. We played that video of Dan Scavino, the Christmas tree, and he's zooming in on Space Force on the instrument and kind of zooming out. And Space Force was up during the 2020 election, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were up during the midterms after that too. So imagine how much information they gathered.
Oh yeah,
that's been going on.
Trump says we have it all.
Yeah, I'm waiting for all that to come out. I think it's going to happen. And then you got, like I've always said, what started for me, Miss Sidney Powell. She came back. She suffered a career suicide at the wrong time. But she's been saying stuff like this, just like in the introduction music video that we played when we started the show today. I mean, Anthony Weiner's laptop, she talked about Smartmatic and Dominion and Venezuela. Now you're seeing this Venezuela cartel drug war, which may have more than just one meaning, as far as I'm concerned, as far as saving American lives. But what else are you doing with our elections, right?
Yep. Hey, Hex, do you know who I look to make a comeback whenever all this election fraud stuff starts coming out that you're talking about right now? Dinesh, man.
Dinesh,
Dinesh, yes.
That, and I also look for Durham to make a comeback.
Yep.
If you look at
2,000 Mules was epic.
What Q drop was that? Let me find the Q drop here. Actually, there's a lot of Q drops that mention Durham, but crap, I can't remember the exact drop number it was. Actually, I've got it on my Facebook picture, and it's Washington crossing the Delaware. Do you know what Washington crossed the Delaware in? You're muted, Parabellum. in a boat, but do you know what kind of boat it was? And this picture, this same image, the famous painting of Washington crossing the Delaware, Q had posted it in the drops. It's called a Durham boat.
The Durham boat. Yes, thank you. Yes.
So I look for Durham to make a comeback too.
Yeah.
Because you had the Durham annexes came out earlier this year, and we've not heard anything about them. It's kind of been,
nothing yet. It's been a minute. And then you had the burn bags from the Durham. Is that what you're talking about? Burn bags from the Durham annex report.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. So we've not heard a whole lot about them since that, but I think that's going to come back into play again. And I remember telling a couple people back when Durham was doing this investigation, back when he was right heavily into the meat of this investigation. I remember telling a lot of people that it's not about a conviction. Durham is getting federal court documented evidence on record, and that's what's going to be used later on. It's going to come back into play. And then all of a sudden the freaking burn bags were found with all this shit in it. I'm like, see, fucking told you.
It's coming, man. I'll tell you what.
Sorry again for the F-bomb.
Yeah. we get a little.
Lord, I apologize. Feed me to the snorting pygmies down in New Guinea.
I'll tell you what, for a little bit of, do we know where we want to go to next? Because if not, I'm just going to play a little bit of a video for some dinner break.
You can. I've got some
Schiff getting approached by a man of God.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's play it for the middle of it and think about where we're going to go. Check this out, guys. This is hilarious.
I'm Joseph Philip Daniel.
How you doing?
You can shake my hand, and maybe the Holy Spirit will touch you. I'm close to King Jesus, and I'm close to God. Jesus is with us, sir. And you're on the wrong side of history.
It burns.
You saw all the evil things you did with Ed Buck years ago. God did. Out in California. You're going to reap what you sow, man. You're not going to get away with evil. You understand? You're going to face Jesus on judgment. You cannot escape his gaze, Adam.
Adam's like, I can't escape your gaze.
Change him, God, if it's possible. Shift him out of the ways of Satan and into your ways, if possible, God. Thank you for sending me to Adam Shifty Shift today.
Shift. He shifted them, dude.
Shifty shift.
He shifted them. I mean, when I heard that, I died.
Seashells down by the seashore.
He does. He shifts seashells down by the seashore. I'm telling you, man. Just for
that was a good one.
A little bit of info that goes in with that, though. If you guys don't remember, Ed Buck, right? So, what happened here? Adam Schiff's campaign received a $2,700 donation from Ed Buck back in 2016. So, what was Ed Buck's crimes? Check this out, guys. This is what matters. Ed Buck was a wealthy, major Democratic political donor in California who was later found guilty of drugging and paying men for the sex acts. Okay, getting nasty. It also resulted in the overdose deaths of 2 men, Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean.
Was there a hammer involved in any of this?
Well, I would imagine there was a wives' hammer possibly involved with Adam. But sorry about that. But just to put a little information back on that background and to be able to make that video make sense, I wanted to put a little bit of info on it. But just to kind of remind everybody, I got birds in the background now. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, man. She's got my little birds. Well, we've got a little parakeet over here, and the girls are not quite taking care of it. So tonight we decided to move it into the living room. Yeah, tweet.
I feel like chicken tonight.
That's right, buddy. But Hex, if you got something lined up, you can jump in.
Yep. Give me 1 second here. I got
sounds of nature.
Cash Patel. If you want to give that a read, Parabellum.
Yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second. Storm has arrived. Okay, so here we go. Post from True Social. The storm has arrived. I'm sorry, on X, not True Social. X. Go over there on X and check out the storm has arrived. They got a lot of great information. But here we go. Cash Patel just went on with Don Jr. and hammered home that justice is coming for the deep state. Listen to every word in the clip. We're committed to transparency, but we're also committed to these investigations.
All right, so don't read the cue yet, but listen to every word in this. Well, where's it at? In this clip here. Actually, haven't uploaded that one yet. Let me upload that one real quick. But listen to every word that he says in this clip here. Cash. There we go.
Have y'all seen the other name for President Donald Trump? They're starting to pop out, Teflon Don.
Yeah, nothing sticks, man.
That's been on
Nothing
troll.
sticks, bro. I'm loving it, dude. I know it's an older name, but I just seen it again today, and I was like, oh.
But anyway, pay attention to what Cash says in this.
The ultimate weaponization of our law enforcement in the United States history.
Oh, I know a little bit
against
about
your
it.
father. Yeah, and you know a little bit about it, and I do too. And we were talking to the guy. Look, we're the ones that uncovered Arctic Frost. In terms of transparency, this FBI has produced 40,000 pages of documents to Congress in 9 to 10 months alone. Let's put that in perspective. My predecessor, Ray, produced 13,000 pages in 7 years, and Comey produced 3,000 pages in 3.5 years. We're committed to transparency, but we're also committed to these investigations. We have ongoing investigations, as you know, of Russiagate and Arctic Frost. And yes, we did indict folks like James Comey and Letitia James. And I know they're going through the legal challenges. But notice one thing that's not happening in those cases. Nobody in there's challenging the substance of the work. They're trying to throw it out on some procedural error. And I don't believe they're going to be successful. We're not done with those cases. Our partners at the Department of Justice are not standing down and bending the knee. You're going to see, in my opinion, more investigative work continue to lead to more prosecutions, because in order to end the weaponization of justice, there has to be full accountability, not just with transparency, but also with people being held to justice in a court of law. And we're going to continue to do that. Look, they built this disease temple over the course of decades.
Bum, bum, bum.
And in 10 months, we've already taken a sledgehammer to it. But that doesn't mean we're done. And that doesn't mean we're not doing the work. It just takes a little bit of time to unravel the deep state that they built here. And we're doing it. And the Jan 6 pipe bomber is a piece of it. You're right. But it's not all of it. But I want the American public to know we keep speaking in court when we can. We're going to continue to show up to court, and we're going to continue to make people like Comey and Brennan and Clapper and Page and Strzok and so many others answer for what I believe are their acts of criminal conduct, because that's exactly what they did when they weaponized law enforcement, went overseas, borrowed information from some hack in England about Russia, infiltrated our FISA court, lied to a federal officer, and illegally surveilled your father during a presidential candidacy. You think I'm going to let that go?
Yeah. Well, and senators and congressmen, only Republicans in Arctic Frost. I mean, that's a really big deal. Again, the media is never going to talk about it, but I mean, talk about a threat to democracy.
All right, so he said a couple things in there that really piqued my interest. One, he was talking about Russiagate. That ties into 2016 election, which also can tie into 2020 election. But the other thing he said in that was corrupt temple, which reminded me a whole lot of this here. Check this out.
I keep my head up, and you will end this. I'm just getting warmed up. This is Von Clausewitz shit. Total fucking war. I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
It's going to be biblical. Disease, corrupt temple.
Absolutely.
Kash Patel said corrupt temple. Q has mentioned some of all fears multiple times. So I'd pick this drop to go with it. And Q is talking about Uranium One, CA, EU, Asia, Iran deal. Why is this relevant? Reread drops, North Korea, Iran. But basically, this was the first drop that I know of. This was the first drop that Q mentioned some of all fears. And that clip that we watched was from the movie Some of All Fears. And then you had Kash Patel saying disease temple. So make of that what you will. Me personally, I take it as a Q connection, in my opinion. But What's your guys' thoughts on it?
That's a pretty good connection there, man.
Yep.
Want to get to some
So
Epstein
here's
stuff?
the deal. I do want
wait.
to put a little bit
Okay.
into that. Some of the great things that that video, dude, for me, when Kash Patel and he came out and said that was one of the first big videos that came out that showed proof of what it is that they're doing in this FBI. And it really got me on the train to kind of go with them that they are a transparent FBI. And then you got AG Pam Bondi and DOJ. They are doing the best that they can do with the laws that are in place. And there's loopholes and hurdles. They're doing the best they can. But this is what got me on board with them in the first place. Because we know that the FBI was corrupt all the way up until this point when you get a new administration. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime event where there's a total overhaul and there's a draining of the swamp and there's a, reset the chessboard. But another thing they talked about was Arctic frost. That was a big thing. So did you know about the recent developments of Arctic frost? I want to put them in there.
Go ahead.
So Senator Grassley probing hearings on December 9th. Chuck Grassley, now chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, announced that investigating Arctic frost will be a top priority, quote unquote, in 2026. And that goes along with the sum of all fears and what's going to happen. This is our last show until maybe the spring of next year or whatever. Arctic frost is going to be a top priority as well, with a series of hearings planned to expose the full extent of the surveillance and hold accountable those involved. So I just wanted to add that in, that is a top priority of the FBI, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. That is coming in 2026. Hold your horses. Just wait for the popcorn and ride.
So again, Arctic frost is that's one big one. And then we've got the 2020 election. But the other big thing that we've got coming out also to look forward to is within the next several weeks is the Epstein shit. Let's get into some Epstein shit.
Absolutely. Federal judge allows the release of Epstein sex trafficking case, grand jury transcripts. My goodness. I've also got a little clip here. Together, the three decisions of these three judges. There's actually three judges that led to this. And if it's okay with you, I want to play a little Carl Higbee video that reminds us of where we came from. There were three judges that initially shut this request down up until it came to the Epstein Transparency Act. And here's Carl Higbee real quick on that. And we'll come back to this little clip. Let's see if I can find
The White House has tried to release the Epstein files, and they were sealed by three separate judges. Ironically, all appointed by Democrats on three separate occasions. Check out.
Love this
who
video.
blocked this.
Love
This
Newsmax.
is actually
Calls them
amazing,
out.
folks. July 23rd,
Carl's the
2025.
man, dude.
Release blocked by Robin L. Rosenberg, the Southern District of Florida, appointed by Barack
Navy
Obama
SEAL.
in 2014. That's weird.
Absolutely.
Denied unsealing the grand jury transcripts from Epstein's 2005 to 2007 Florida federal investigation, ruling that the request fell outside judicial proceedings and violated state secrecy guidelines, and declined to transfer the case back up to New York. August 11th, just a month later, 2025, blocked again by Paul A. Engelmeyer, Southern District of New York, rejecting unsealing of grand jury materials from Ghislaine Maxwell's case, stating that they contained no new information. And, they said it was a risk of unraveling secrecy without sufficient justification. That's pretty weird, because another judge just released all the grand jury information.
That's another liberal
to
name.
Comey's team, which you would think,
Oh,
since
yeah.
Comey is, like alive and stuff, unlike Epstein, would be even more unprecedented. But whatevs. Anyway, the third time, on August 20th, 2025, Richard M. Berman, Southern District of New York, denied unsealing of grand jury transcripts and exhibits from the Epstein 2019 indictment, calling the DOJ's motion a diversion from its own and unreleasing files, emphasized threats to victim safety and privacy, even though all those names just would have been redacted. But yet,
That's pretty much where we came from. That's where it all started with this. You had those three judges that were just blasted on Newsmax, and they put them out there. That's why I love Newsmax. But then again, there was another post that just recently came out. It says, together, the three decisions set up the most sweeping account yet of how federal investigators pursued Epstein and Maxwell, encompassing not only grand jury transcripts, but extensive investigative files that were turned over to defense teams years ago under protective orders and never made public. Congress passed what we're going to be talking about, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, last month, compelling the DOJ to disclose all unclassified records connected to Epstein and Maxwell, subject to redactions of names and identifying details of victims. The law effectively altered the legal landscape that had blocked earlier efforts to surface these materials. So you have those same three judges, basically, I think, and then it went in, and you get the Epstein Transparency Act under the Trump administration, and here we are. Hello, John Solomon.
Yep. So we just read that, but the Q drop beside of it that I've got posted with that is 2571, and Q says Public Awakening. Mind you, this drop was 1210, and then we found out 1210 that the grand jury testimonies were going to be released. So 1210, December 10th, Public Awakening, game over. So I think these Epstein files are our Christmas present that everything was pointing at. Is they're going to come out and it's going to be game over for them. But I've got a video here. I think it's Fox News, or no, it's Newsmax. Actually, Parabellum. This is Newsmax. So this is something that. Yep. So here's you some Newsmax. I clipped this talking about the Epstein files. So check this out.
Ghislaine Maxwell grand jury records have been cleared for release to the public. Today, a federal judge in New York granted the Department of Justice request to unseal the materials. The unsealing comes after President Trump signed into law the Epstein Files Transparency Act. That was signed last month. This new law compels the Justice Department to release everything it has on the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Kentucky Republican and Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Congressman James Comer, joins me. Good afternoon, sir. Tell me, these records are different from the records that your committee has gone through. Is that right?
It is. What we've gone through are some records the Department of Justice has sent us. I subpoenaed the Epstein estate. We've gotten all of those documents in. And now what the Trump administration has requested and the courts have agreed to turn over is the grand jury testimony. There are also some other records the Department of Justice has. And then at that point, I think we'll have everything that we've all been waiting to see. And we're going to make everything transparent that we can make, with the exception of redacting the names of some of the victims.
Are you suspicious, having gone through the universe of documents that you have, and I realize you got them from the estate, and you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of pages, but are you suspicious, or do you think that there's going to be something in this grand jury testimony, this transcript? Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you expecting anything in particular?
Well, we're also going through bank records. We've gotten some bank records in. We're going to go through more bank records. I think there's a lot of curiosity as to where Jeffrey Epstein's money came from and how he accumulated such a vast amount of wealth. His estate is worth about $750 million. That doesn't just happen. So we're going to dive into that. We believe that there may be some names that we can accumulate with respect to maybe constructing a list. I'm pretty confident the government didn't have an Epstein list. There's no list that I can tell, and Patel has confirmed that as well. Barr said the same thing, William Barr. There was no list that the government had accumulated, but we believe maybe there's a possibility that we could get some names together of some people that may have been in violation of the law with respect to abusing these women. But at the end of the day, I can say there are two names at the top of the list that did a lot of bad things, and that's Epstein and Maxwell. And obviously Epstein is no longer alive, and Maxwell is in prison where I believe she belongs.
You said that to redact the names of the victims. You made mention of that. Are you going to redact the names that show up in the files in different capacities, whether they were passengers on the plane or involved in anything nefarious or knew Jeffrey Epstein and did business with him? So it's just the victims' names that you expect will be redacted?
That's my goal, is to just redact the victims' names. We want to be transparent with who was had any type of relationship with Epstein. One of the things that I think President Trump's always been concerned about is there are people that have maybe been listed as the government as someone who associated with Epstein. They may have attended a party with Epstein or invited Epstein to a party at their house. And the president was concerned that the media or the public would assume that person had done terrible things, but that they were guilty by association, but hadn't done anything wrong, and were susceptible to these massive lawsuits that have been filed by the victims, and many are class action lawsuits. Many of the people that Epstein associated with were billionaires. So that's a concern. But at the end of the day, I think the American people have been very vocal. And the members of Congress in both parties, we've been very vocal. We want every name released. And then anyone whose name is released will have an opportunity to defend themselves. They can say, look, I only knew Epstein through social circles in West Palm Beach or social circles in New York City. I never went to the island. I never, violated, any of the women who were violated by Epstein. So people are going to have that opportunity. I think it's unfortunate that, that some names are going to be released that undoubtedly have done nothing wrong, and they're going to have to defend themselves. But at the end of the day, that's the price we're going to have to pay for transparency. And there's just there's too big a cloud of suspicion as to what was going on with Epstein. There's too big a cloud of suspicion as to what role, if any, the government played in a cover-up. And the American people want the truth, and that's what my job has always been with this investigation, is to get the truth to the American people. We've gotten the estate documents out, all of them, and we're going to do the same with all the Department of Justice documents, and hopefully the American people can finally know what happened, and the victims can get some justice that they badly deserve.
It's also, though, I think it's like, maybe, I guess it's the lawyer in me, it's also incumbent upon the media to be smart as they cover this. Knowing Jeffrey Epstein is not a crime. It just isn't.
Right.
Taking a ride on his airplane is not a crime. Going to a party where he is not a crime. Molesting young girls, that is a crime, or in some way contributing to it. And the media really has to be fair to everybody involved in this, because we're going to get loaded with a lot of documents, loaded with a lot of names, and we really have to be by being transparent also includes being fair.
That's right, and that's a concern I have. I have zero confidence that the media will be fair, especially to anyone that's a conservative or a Republican that was associating with Epstein. But again, that's something that I think has been the biggest concern with President Trump with respect to releasing the documents. But President Trump has heard the will of Congress. We were very clear that we want the documents. And again, I think that the people who may have been associated with Epstein, who may have been seen at a restaurant out with Epstein, they're going to have to be prepared to explain themselves. And in many cases, just having an acquaintanceship with Epstein is nothing criminal, but you're going to have to explain it, and that's the bad part about all this. But the good part is the American people are going to know the truth. We're going to know if any American citizens were involved with mischief with these girls. I know there are some foreign citizens. Were there any American citizens? And at the end of the day, the victims will be able to get justice. They will be able to put some closure to this, and hopefully we'll see some accountability.
And I hope, as you noted earlier, I hope we find out how this man suddenly became a billionaire, which is
Right.
which is also a
We
little
know how
bit.
that happened.
I mean, either he's a brilliant guy or something. There's something odd there. Congressman James Comer, thank you, sir, and good luck, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Greg.
People think news just happens.
I'm gonna go with something odd there.
Yeah.
I'll take there's something odd for 500, Alex.
Yeah.
Damn.
Still walks like a duck and talks like a duck. It's a duck.
But the whole shit around telling you.
Oh, you cut out.
Oh, sorry. Everything with these Epstein files, I've been saying it on the show the past several episodes. This is what ties it all together, is these Epstein files.
Yeah, I think this is the icing on the cake, if not the candles that you got to blow out.
And again, let's look back at this one more time. There we go. That Q drop, and Q says, and again, this was a December 10th post from 2018 to Q, and Q says public awakening equals game over. And we're getting ready to have the public awakening. And I honestly think that everything that I've seen with Dan Scavino's post of the ornament, Space Force ornament, and General Flynn get ready and blah, 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 blah. I think this is what it was leading to, was these Epstein files being the transcripts being released.
Absolutely. And to stay with the theme of the show, again, for all the viewers that are watching us right now, we appreciate that, you guys showing in. What we're talking about is the sum of all fears and things that we're going to be looking forward to in January 2026.
And it's not the sum
administration.
It's not the sum of all fears like the movie plays out. This show was based around the sum of all fears.
Going down, baby.
Deep state going down, the sum of all their fears. That's kind of what we built this show around tonight. And I don't know, maybe that's what Q meant. Maybe it wasn't what Q meant. I know there's going to be a scare necessary event, but this is my take on some of all fears, is the deep state being exposed to we the people, and the people starting to wake up to it. And that's, to me, that would be like that's their biggest fear, because you got Q talking about panic in DC. That would be their biggest fear. But we also had, let me pull this one up real quick.
Hex, do you have any info on where those files will be after they go public with it? Do you have any info on where those are going to be available to people like us?
Not right at the moment. I am trying to keep tabs on that. If anybody has that in the chat, put it in the chat where those are going to be available at. It may be
absolutely.
What's the site?
I can tell you right now, Democrats received, what was it, like 45,000 pages of the Epstein files and photos and stuff like that. And guess what Democrats did with it? They did what Democrats do.
Yeah, they
just put out cherry picked
with pictures and whatnot.
It's funny that those photos just went to the Democrats, right? Like, oh, what's going on here, dude? Oh, cherry picked photos of President Trump. Here, get your lot of the field before the truth comes out. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, here's another little take on this whole entire Epstein thing. In my opinion, is do you remember when this first came out, the whole Epstein stuff back earlier this year, and you had the White House invite a bunch of different people, like alternative news people, to the White House, and they gave them these documents, and they all come out, and I think DC Drano was one of them, and I think the picture was of DC Drano's documents, and they came out and it said Epstein Files Phase 1.
Yeah, I remember the Phase 1.
Yep. So you guys remember the Phase 1?
I seen Bondi with a copy of it and Cash with a copy of it.
Yep. So you had the Phase 1 of it. This was, I think, to get the ball rolling on these Epstein files, and then you had the whole entire mock-up thing with Elon and Trump, and then Elon coming on X and posting that Trump's in the Epstein files, and then all of a sudden you had the Democrats screaming for the Epstein files, release the Epstein files, because they had tainted documents within these Epstein files.
Yeah, release them. Wait, don't release them.
but yeah, exactly. So what happened after that was Trump tried to release the grand jury testimonies after that to kind of test the waters a little bit. And all of a sudden the Democrats were like, no, shoot it down. We don't want that. No, we were just joking. We were kidding. Right. We don't want it. We don't want them released.
To me, I pay attention to people's actions. And whenever your actions change sides like that,
okay,
I got nothing for you.
Let's continue with this. So you had that happen with Trump and Elon, and then the Democrats were all of a sudden screaming for the Epstein files, and then Trump wants to release the grand jury testimonies, and then the Democrats voted it down. The Democratic judge shot it out of court, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it came back into play again with the Epstein files. And then you have this spat with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump. And then and then after we seen that happen, the Democrats started screaming again. Like me, I could be wrong, but I think this whole entire spat between Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene is just fake. So, but when she done that,
could be. What's the purpose? What are they trying to push forward? What do you think?
Okay, so let me get through that. So then, after Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump had their spat, and a lot of that was around the Epstein files, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong on that? Is that what the bulk of it was about? Is she wanted accountability and she was talking about the Epstein file release and stuff like that. Is that what she was?
That was
Right.
when her and Thomas Massey had a little correspondence going on
Yep.
there to try to get that stuff.
Okay.
released.
And they had a
Okay.
disagreement, I
All
guess,
right.
between each other.
So the Democrats eat that shit up again, and they're gobble gobble gobble, gobble, you know.
They're looking for something to play.
But they
Oh,
do the
Lord.
same shit. They do the same shit again, and then all of a
You
sudden,
should never do that to a mic.
look.
I'm just kidding, buddy.
But anyway, the Democrats eat that shit up again, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then they start screaming again. You know, release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
So by this time, Trump has already put into play that Trump Epstein Transparency Act.
Yes.
So then the judges have to release these Epstein files, and we start seeing these Epstein court testimonies being released. So I think all this was set up from phase one of the Epstein files, and I think it was set in phases. Do you get what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, it's like a slow walk into a 5D chess plan.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, I got you.
Slow drip, flood.
You know, and you were talking about the MTG, and I'm just going to kind of go with it, but a little bit of the fallout that came out from that, a little bit of comedic humor, break. A little bit of the fallout that came out from the MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and President Trump feud that's going on was a couple of these AI videos. I just want to share one with you real quick, but we'll get back straight to that topic of what it was you were talking about.
I guess the question on everyone's mind is, why did you decide to go full retard, Marjorie?
Oh,
I mean, we all kind of knew you were retarded by the way you speak and the way you look and shit like that. But why go full retard? That takes courage.
You'll never go full
Well, to be honest, I've been a retard all my life. You know, it just, I guess Republicans were just nice to me, even though I was retarded because I was talking shit about other retards like you and the Democrats. But once I decided to become a piece of shit trader, I guess everyone realized just how much of a retard I really was.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how serious this spat has gotten, dude.
I was going to say the same thing you said. You played that for me pre-show.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the first little bit of it, and like my mic was muted, and I was like, "Never go full retard. You never come back from that."
Everybody know that.
But
even Tom Hanks didn't go full retard.
I do got one more Epstein thing here. Wall Street Ape. You want to give that a read, Parabellum?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. So this is Wall Street 8 from X, verified account. Jeffrey Epstein files reveal a woman named Kathy Rumler was one of the people who had the most communication with Epstein. Over 100 emails and more than 50 meetings in just 5 years after he was convicted sex offender. She was the White House counsel to none other than all roads lead back to Barack Obama.
Yes.
All right, so that Q drop beside of that there says public awakening equals game over. Let's look back at this one more time here. Public awakening equals game over. And I'd put that in there, exact same thing. Like, you know, you're seeing a public awakening, but Wall Street Ape has a video with it. And I've not watched this video yet. I've kind of saved this for the end of the show because I kind of wanted to watch it too. Let me share my screen there. And he's got this on X. Again, I've not seen this. I just kind of, I'm going to be as new to this as you guys are. But wait, I think, 1 second here.
And trying to get it to watch again.
Yep. Let me find the video here. I thought I had it pulled up. I had the wrong video pulled up. Bear with me 1 second,
That's
guys.
all right. You can go ahead and look for that. And while you're doing that, let's go over a little bit. Did you see?
Yep, I got it here. I got it.
Okay,
yep.
go ahead.
All right,
Go
it took me a
ahead.
second. I had to hit backspace a little bit, but
That's okay. Yeah.
let me pause this and let me full screen this. So let's see what Wall Street Ape has on this, because I'm curious myself.
The most powerful people in the Epstein files is somebody you may not have heard of. Her name is Kathy Rumler, and she is one of the people who communicated with Jeffrey Epstein the most, according to emails released last month from Epstein's estate by House investigators. She's a former White House counsel to Barack Obama, and now top lawyer at one of the world's most powerful banks, Goldman Sachs. Records show that before she joined the bank, they exchanged more than 100 emails, and Epstein's schedule lists them having more than 50 planned meetings between 2014 and 2019. Long after he was a registered sex offender. Across the many messages, Rumler emerges as a confidant and friend to Epstein, and he turned to her for help for managing his public reputation after he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor. In one 2019 message, for example, Epstein wrote that Rumler helped him craft a statement in response to a forthcoming Washington Post editorial that was calling on Congress to investigate him. He referred to it as the Rumler proposal. The statement defended Epstein and denied that he ever received a sweetheart deal. This is what Kathy suggests we tell Washington Post, Epstein said. While Rumler told CNN that she did not represent Epstein and was not compensated by him, she did not directly answer whether she ever crafted PR statements for him or advised him on media strategy. Rumler said she had no knowledge of any new or ongoing unlawful activity by Epstein. In an email to Epstein in June 2018, Rumler dismissed a Daily Beast story about allegations against him, describing it as a, quote, novella of rehashed crap. Now, Rumler told CNN she was referring to the article, not the allegations against Epstein, and said, "I have deep sympathy for anyone victimized by Epstein, and as I have said many times, I regret ever knowing him." But at the time, Rumler's correspondence with Epstein often appeared to go beyond professional matters. They gossiped about current events, arranged celebrity lunches and dinners. Epstein even appears to have coordinated some of her personal beauty appointments. In her statement to CNN, Rumler referred to Epstein as a business referral source and said she knew him in a, quote, professional capacity when she worked in private practice. Rumler told CNN, "I did not travel with him, go out to dinner with him, or spend time with him one-on-one, except in a professional setting. As has been well established, Epstein's calendars and schedules often do not reflect reality." What's so interesting about Rumler is that unlike other Epstein associates like Larry Summers or Prince Andrew, who have paid a steep price for their association with Epstein, Rumler has managed to fly under the radar. She remains at Goldman Sachs, which so far has chosen to stand by her.
Oh, you're muted, buddy.
Yep, sorry, I was muted. But I'm gonna let this kind of play out and see what happens with her. Like, what's your guys'
Yeah, her
thoughts
ties
on it?
back to Barack, man. That's got me interested.
Yep. The ties back to Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. And then you've got other stuff that goes with that. So you've got over, what was it? Let's see here. What they talked about, White House counsel under President Barack Obama from 2011 to 2014. That was Rumler. She returned to private practice at Latham & Watkins as a partner and co-chair of its white-collar defense group. Then she later joined Goldman Sachs. The 2025 committee highlighted her extensive, where'd it go? Oh, Lord, I just lost it. President Barack Obama highlighted her extensive communications and meetings with Epstein, the convicted sex offender and financier who died in 2019. So, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely connections with Rumler and Jeffrey Epstein. But let's not forget, I was trying to download an image of Stacey. There we go. This one that goes with that. Stacey Plaskett. Do you guys remember Stacey Plaskett? Okay,
Yeah.
that was on the other shows. She was the lawmaker who exchanged text messages with Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing. Okay, literally, Epstein sent Plaskett messages with comments on her appearance in the hearing itself, pretty much dictating what it was that this congresswoman was going to say during this meeting and the laws and the questions and stuff that she was going to present. So, there's connections with Rumler. There's connections with Plaskett. There is corruption and nastiness just everywhere, all over this. And I think the fallout, just like you guys say, it's going to be nasty.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Actually, let's see here. I'm looking at Q933. Q says, Aaron Anon had said Q Goldman Sachs. What was that company? Goldman
Sachs.
Goldman Sachs, yeah.
SACHS?
Yeah, Sachs, yeah, not
Okay,
like
yeah.
Sachs, but Sachs.
So this is kind of interesting. I don't know. I just come across this. I don't know if it connects or not. Actually, let me share my screen here and I'll pull it up for you. But this Q drop, let me biggie size that so you can see it a little bit better. Again, it's Q933 over there on the right side of the screen. Goldman Sachs CEO steps down. And Anon had posted this executive order doing damage ? And then it's got a web address, fortune.com, Goldman Sachs. Let's see what that web address has in it. I'm just kind of curious. Let me copy that and open a new tab here real quick, and I'll share this screen with you once I get it pulled up, because I'm kind of curious as to, it says error 403.
Oh, yep.
Not found. Yep. But anyway, Q comes back and says, tied to Cohen, it was not his choice. Pawns used Q. So I don't know if that maybe connects to that whole entire story or not. Just kind of wanted to toss that out there. Maybe it don't, but anyway, I've got this.
Okay.
If anybody, you got anything else, Parabellum, before we jump into the last? Because I was saving this for last.
Well, the only other little thing that I have is the Kristi Noem response I was going to play for Big Country there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I've got a little bit that went on with that. Kristi Noem, where was it she was at, Big Country? Do you know? She was in a congressional meeting.
It was a hearing. I'm not sure where it was, where they held it at, what the venue was.
So she was in a hearing, and Kristi Noem, just check this out. This is fun for all you conservatives out there. Go ahead.
It was all about the recent ICE arrests that they've made, and some of it had to do with the tanker ship that just got seized.
Yes.
She was being
questioned. And they talked a little bit about the National Guardsmen, I do believe, that recently lost their life. I had a photo of that, but I don't know if you can bring that up, Hex 7, while we play this through. But,
what is it?
Remember the National Guardsman that was shot? Remember the lady's name?
You want both of them or just?
Yeah, both of them. If you don't care, we can go ahead and bring that up a little bit of remembrance. But look at Kristi Noem. Actually, go ahead.
When you get a chance, look at private chat there.
Okay, I got you. Let me look at that real quick. Oh, yeah, right on, dude. Yeah, I know. It's going great. I love tonight. So here we go. This is Kristi Noem's response to, I think, a liberal freaking Democrat out of Mississippi or something like that. She obliterates the Democrats straight to the face. Check it out.
I think it's shameful to see the defense of individuals who break our laws. We are a nation of laws. If we are not a nation of laws, we're no nation at all. And that is what we are doing every day, is following those. If you guys don't like the law, go change it. That's your job. You don't complain. I was raised by a dad who said we don't complain about things. We fix them. Well, go fix them. If you don't like the law, quit bellyaching, quit hitting and attacking our ICE officers, quit going out and protesting and screaming vile things at them, quit calling them names. We wouldn't let our children do that. Go do something that actually matters by having an honest debate and changing the law. That's your jobs. You all should be fired, in my viewpoint.
Yeah.
Absolutely giving it to them. You know what that video reminds me of? It reminds me back in the day, the old beautiful troll footage of President Trump and Hillary Clinton, you know, talking about, well, if you don't like the tax laws, go ahead and change them, you know, and you'd be in jail if you remember that. That's what it reminds me of.
Absolutely.
Yes, Kristi Noem showing up saying something like that. Absolutely awesome. I have one more for Kristi Noem. This one's 1:44. And this goes over a little bit of the incident. Maybe you guys heard about it. If you didn't see it in your feeds, check it out. This is absolutely awful. A Democrat senator calls the murder, the death of a National Guardsman, a woman, an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, accident.
My goodness. Watch Kristi Noem obliterate this liberal.
Reference the unfortunate accident that occurred with the National Guardsman being killed.
You think that was an unfortunate accident?
I mean,
It was a terrorist attack.
wait. Look, I'll get it straight. Then you can
He shot our
respond.
National Guardsman in the head.
Look, it was an unfortunate
Get it, Kristi.
situation, but you blamed it solely on Joe Biden. I want you to know who approved the asylum application for this same person.
Mr. Thompson, this individual that came into the country.
No, I want to know who approved.
Congressman Thompson, I want you to understand. When this individual came into the country, he came under
I'm not going to let you.
Evacuation of Afghanistan under Operation Allies Welcome, was thoroughly vetted by the Biden administration at that point in time, allowed into our country, and then was never followed up. I want to remind everybody in Congress.
The Biden admin did.
We follow the law, and every asylum is supposed to have a check-in every single year, and the Biden administration failed to do that. They vetted this individual, allowed them into our country, and did not do due diligence.
Witness will allow the gentleman to ask his question.
Yes or no? Who approved the asylum claim?
The application on the asylum was thoroughly filled out by information that was gathered by the Biden administration.
I don't want to charge with charges against you. But I'm
who was in charge? Oh, we was. My bad.
Trump administration, DHS, your DHS, approved the asylum application.
The asylum application moved forward under all of the information and vetting processes that were put in place under the Biden administration.
You know it, dude.
You big dummy.
I'm telling you. So some of the things that came, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up. Two guardsmen that lost their life in that attack. This is what they're talking about. And the senator, called it an unfortunate accident. Kristi Noem's response: you think that was an unfortunate accident? He shot her in the head. This is the kind of accountability that I look for in people today. You need point blank responses and truth. And you got it right there with Kristi Noem.
Yep.
Exactly.
Good stuff.
I think Parabellum is
sorry about that.
I thought you were trying to get some milk from a titty or something there.
No, she's trying to show me something. Sorry about that. Something that was one of the choices on the card. So I was trying to figure out what it was. Sorry about that.
I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, man. So that was Kristi Noem absolutely going towards earth. You had moments with Tulsi Gabbard in this administration. You've had
she
Judge Jeanine. I mean, everybody in the Trump administration, they're just burning these Democrats to the ground, dude. Every time,
like Big Country said. Like Big Country said, I fucking told you. I told you.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh yes.
But anybody got anything else before we close this out?
Let's put it to bed, man.
I think the only other thing that I had, let me double check here. I don't know if you guys seen it. We'll go ahead and remove that real quick, but I just wanted to show you. Oh, there we go. Did you guys see what's going on with AOC, Ocasio-Cortez? Stuff that she's under fire for here lately, spending $50,000 in of campaign money to go out and party with Bad Bunny.
Kind of sounds like the BLM person we were talking about top of the show there.
I'm telling you, AOC's with it too, dude. Apparently getting ready for the Super Bowl. You know all the controversy that's going on with that, Bad Bunny and all that stuff and everything.
Yeah.
AOC, just check this quick little video out. Watch her have a good time with Margarita and Saul.
And Bad Bunny.
Spending $50,000 of your taxpayer money to campaign donations. It's not illegal, I'll tell you that, but just check out the video. It'll tell you. It's just morally incorrect in my opinion.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez under scrutiny after FEC filings show her campaign spending nearly $50,000 in Puerto Rico on
hotels, her mom with her?
meals, and a venue rental at the arena where she was seen
no, that was a lawmaker
during a Bad Bunny concert. Correspondent Sarah Williamson has the very latest.
That'll leave a
Sarah.
bad taste in your mouth.
Look, you're
Kid
allowed to
can't
have
wash that
fun,
out.
but on campaign money, I'm not so sure about. It's not exactly the best look because these newly filed federal records show that AOC's campaign spent nearly $50,000 in Puerto Rico over just a few months, fueling criticism, of course, of a lawmaker who has built her entire brand railing against wealth, privilege, elites, and excess. Now, Federal Election Commission filings show that for the third quarter that AOC's campaign reported nearly $50,000 in spending in Puerto Rico just between the months of June and September. The filings list high-end hotels, meals and catering, and event-related expenses paid for, all with campaign funds. The records also show about $23,000 spent on a venue rental in Puerto Rico, the same venue, in fact, that AOC was seen in a private suite at the Bad Bunny concert in August, a moment that went rather viral online. Now, the appearance coming the same month, she delivered a speech condemning gentrification in Puerto Rico and economic inequality, further intensifying criticism that her personal choices undercut her political message. Now, under federal campaign finance law, it's important that we do say this. This spending is actually allowed. Campaigns may legally use donor money for travel, adding lodges, meals, event spaces, as long as it's tied to political activity.
It's just a bad taste in your mouth. Legally,
Well,
they're allowed to do it.
I'm sorry,
this
it needs
less
to be
about
more
legality
regulated
and
and
more
watched.
about
I believe so.
credibility here. Now, we have reached out to AOC for comment, yet to hear back from her. But in a previously published statement, her campaign manager said that she regularly travels to Puerto Rico to
She was
support
probably
local
indisposed
causes,
from tequila.
and that the spending reflected a legitimate
I got a hangover.
activity. But for critics, this just
Going
reinforces
down
that
Bunny's rabbit
AOC is a familiar pattern of a progressive lawmaker condemning excess, while she comfortably is enjoying the very privileges she tells others to reject. Lydia?
Enjoying privileges, she tells others to reject.
I literally
say it, man.
I literally spit my drink out when he said that. Bad Bunny's rabbit hole.
Oh, right on, man. I'm telling you. The only other little thing I do have one actual real moment, 11-second clip of a badass moment from President Trump.
As
If
far
you guys
as
don't, go ahead.
As far as those campaign funds, and that money she was spending, I think it does. Like, I get it. You know, you're going out on campaign on the campaign trail or on a some kind of political trail that you're going out on.
Right.
Be compensated for your hotel room. Be compensated for your meals, but don't go fucking party with it.
Exactly. So she's acting like a teenager.
It needs to be
just
more
got a
regulated.
21-year-old driver's license. You know?
Yeah. Woo! I got all kinds of money. Let's do this.
I mean, you're sitting, a congresswoman. So, that maybe that's a bad look for you. I've only got one more little thing real quick.
It's a shame about AOC too, because
I know. Absolute shame that's liberal.
Yeah.
Poor girl. Never be satisfied. Anyways.
What's the last clip you got for us, Parabella?
The only last thing that I got is a badass Trump moment that actually happened. So if you don't know it, if you ain't heard about it, Trump actually went back on what you would consider kind of like a campaign trail. It's not really a campaign, but he showed up and he did a rally, right? He did a rally for the first time in a long time. This is one of the best moments, I think, that happened through that. And there was actually somebody in the crowd that responded to something that President Trump was saying, talking about third world countries. Check it out, 22 seconds. Here.
I've also announced a permanent pause on third world migration, including from hellholes like Afghanistan, Haiti, Somalia, and many other countries.
Pausing all immigration.
I didn't say shithole, you did.
So the guy in the audience yelled out, "Shitholes!" Absolutely love it, man. That's all I got.
Just saying what everybody else is thinking, man.
He is. He's just saying what the common folk are saying, thinking.
So this is the last one I got for the night.
All right.
Trump had posted this, and we talked about this back. I think it was probably around March. I think we were talking about the Trump Gold Card, and we had the video clip of him talking about announcing that he was going to release the Trump Gold Card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, keywords in that Trump card also go to like he Trump America's golden age, and he redone the White House, and it's in a lot of gold. But anyway, Trump had posted this on Truth Social on the 10th of this month, and he says the United States government's Trump Gold Card is here today, a direct path to citizenship for all qualified and vetted people. So exciting. Our great American companies can finally keep their invaluable talents. live site opens in 30 minutes. And I thought, that was interesting that, 30 minutes. And we were talking about the done in 30 thing. So that kind of like tickled my brain on that a little bit. But I want to pull this cue drop up here beside of it here on the bottom right side of the screen. At what stage in the game do you play the trump card? And I think that right now, like we were talking about this trump card incoming back, like I said, around March or something like that. And I kept saying, it's going to come. It's going to come. We're going to have this trump card. And again, you have Scavino who has been posting content like with the Space Force Delta 6 symbol on the Christmas tree. Flynn saying, get ready. Some stuff that Trump has put out is kind of pointing to this, that we're going to get something for Christmas. And then now you got Trump posting the Trump Go card. At what stage in the game, Q2936, at what stage in the game do you play the Trump card? And I think right now is the time that we're seeing the Trump card getting played. And
absolutely,
the Trump card is a ridiculous amount of money from what I had seen earlier on some of the Trump card stuff, but it's not about the money. It's not about the card.
Now, this is to do with immigration, correct?
Yeah, but it is, but it's not. It's
okay.
It's to do with Q. At what stage in the game do you play the Trump card? Because Trump card was mentioned several times in the Q drops, playing the Trump card. And do you remember Trump when he released the gold pocket watches, and they were like a ridiculous amount of money, and he released the sneakers that were a ridiculous amount of money, and everybody was oh, that's fucking stupid, and blah 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 blah.
He's doing Trump time on Newsmax now.
The thing is, those weren't about those items as much as they were about pointing to Q stuff. And it's the same thing with this Trump card. It's not about how much it costs. It's not about the path to citizenship, even though that's probably what it does. But the big focus, in my opinion, is not about that stuff. The big focus is Q playing the Trump card. And right now we're seeing the Trump card being played. It is a nod and a wink to Anons who follow Q that, we're playing the Trump card. This shit's getting ready to go down.
Yeah.
So that's
out of all the Q things that we've seen, I've never seen a Q post tied to something more directly than what that one did.
I
mean, that was just
that was like bam right there. But at the same time, you still had the John McCain Q proof, which was freaking phenomenal. I wish I could play that tonight on the show, but we've ran out of time. But like you said, Big Country, this is a really like in your face look. Pay attention to what we're saying here. We're playing the Trump card. Shit's getting ready to go down. You had Scavino, you had Flynn, and multiple others make these posts prior to Christmas that something's coming. And then you get the release of the Epstein grand jury testimonies. We're playing the Trump card here.
Yep. I agree.
But anybody got any closing words before we close this thing out?
I think Parabellum's muted, so I'll go ahead and go.
All right.
Just last show for a little while here, guys. Don't count us out. We will be back. Stay frosty. You see something big hit the news, be sure and hit our channel, because I guarantee we'll be commenting on it.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys here in the near future. God bless.
Amen. Parabellum?
Absolutely, man. I just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up on X and was viewing us tonight, YouTube, and all the channels that we're streaming to. We appreciate it. Tonight, I had a great time. Wonderful show. Very informative. Glad to have you guys with us. And thank you.
Yep. Me, same thing. X, Rumble, all you guys on X and Rumble and Instagram and Facebook that viewed us tonight. Thank you so much. There's a thumbs up. Please go down there and hit it. Give us a thumbs up. But like Big Country said, we will be back. We're taking a break from the show for a little while, but we may pop in if breaking news comes out and do a live on whatever topic is coming out that's really big. But we are probably looking to come back around spring. We've got other things going on in our lives right now. And we are also doing a gaming live stream on my channel, which if you're a Warcraft player, that's what we're kind of going over right now. We're playing the game Turtle WoW. So if you want to go check that out, it's on, you can go to my my Rumble channel and go right to that. But we will be back. Don't give up on us, and God bless. And where we go one, we go all. So I guess we're going to close this thing out for the night. Have you got a closing video, Parabellum, or you just want me to play the outro?
You can go ahead and play the outro. I was just putting Christy Nome up there.
Yeah,
and
thanks for that,
best there for
Parabellum.
Big Country. Got you, buddy.
That's there for everybody. God bless Christy Nome. Not only is she an awesome patriot, she is absolutely beautiful. But peace out, guys, and we will see you on the flip side.
Same cues. Different views. Different views. Q drops and logical news. It's okay to have a different view. This is the place for questions and truth. You're gonna love our conservative views. Same cues, different views. X7, he likes to follow Q. The latest drops he'll provide to you. 17 Parabellum, he likes to watch conservative news. Newsmax, he'll break down the facts and bring them straight to you. Big Country, he's our